Welcome to another episode of the show. I am your host, Heel Harry. To the left of me is Tyson,
Let me talk to you.
and we have got a week ahead of us. How have you fared this last 7 days?
Pretty good week. Nothing happened out of the ordinary.
No,
Absolutely nothing.
that's good.
But we did get a lot of new eyes on the product, so that's good.
Yeah, so
That
we got
being
some
our show.
got more subscribers. So welcome. If you happen to hear this, we don't get a lot of traction on our live stuff, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, show up to the live, guys. Come on. What are we doing?
But well, I guess we can just jump into it then.
Yeah, why not?
All right. So let's start with Monday Night Raw. We're 19 days away from WrestleMania as of Monday. And we start in Raleigh, North Carolina. And immediately, Cody Rhodes is in the house. He's with his dog, Pharaoh, who has a scarf that says The Rock is a cat. Yeah. DIY is facing the Inbreed brothers later as well.
For the right to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah. You're going to have to fill that in because I don't care about that at all. Jey Uso, because there's like a whole bunch of tag team matches that were for that, and I just did not care. The SmackDown one's even more confusing.
Yeah, it's pretty confusing, but I got it now.
Okay. Well, Jey Uso, he comes to the ring. Jay says he knows the bloodline's in the building, so where's Jimmy? So Jimmy and Solo, they come out through the crowd. And then Jay and Jimmy have a stare down for a really long time. Jay says they've always managed to fight and hug it out, but this time it feels different. And Jay just says he misses Jimmy. Then he talks about his feelings and asks Jimmy to come back to him. It was almost like they were lovers, not brothers. And Jimmy says he never left. Jay's too stupid to realize he was the one he was being protected. It was Jay's idea to leave the bloodline, and Jimmy was there, even though Jimmy's the one that super kicked Roman.
But it was for Jay.
Yeah, but Jay didn't leave the bloodline. Jay was still with the bloodline. Jimmy cut the cord to leave the bloodline.
That's true.
So Jay became the biggest star in Raw, selling all the top merchandise, and became a tag team champion, all without Jimmy. Jimmy says everything Jay has is because of him. Jay's biggest moment is because of Jimmy. Jay says no, his biggest moment will be at WrestleMania when he knocks Jimmy the fuck out. So Jay takes out Jimmy, Solo comes in, but Jay stops him, then Jimmy hits him with a super kick. Then Cody comes out for the save. Pierce is on the phone later, presumably yelling at Nick Aldis. Is that who you got too?
Yeah.
Okay. And Heyman's, so are they not friends anymore? What the fuck's that all about?
I don't know. I guess he was upset because he didn't control his roster.
Okay.
I don't know.
Heyman slides in to say that Jimmy and Solo were acting on their own. It wasn't authorized by Dwayne or Roman. And Heyman assures Pierce that Jimmy and Solo are gone, and he'll be gone after his official business tonight. But when Heyman does his official business, everyone's going to be caught off guard. Spoiler alert, I wasn't caught off guard.
I was expecting more, I will be honest.
Yeah. I was too after I saw your tweets.
My tweets?
Yeah, weren't you tweeting about SmackDown?
Yeah. Let's talk about Raw.
Oh, was it Raw? Okay.
No, I was tweeting during SmackDown. Follow us over on the X, if by the way. Getting active over there, trying at least. But I was expecting more on Raw.
I was expecting more overall.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah. DIY beat the Inbreed brothers. Who cares? Remember when they came in and Judgment Day is like, oh, these guys are different. We've never seen a team like this before.
Yeah.
Then they
I
got
mean,
their
I'll
little.
say this. You didn't watch it, but this was a pretty dang good match, if I'd say so myself. It was very reminiscent of like old school Black and Gold.
Okay.
The creeds, they continue to impress people. I mean, they really did their same little spots, but people haven't seen them in so long. It was like such a thing to see. Like there's one point where Julius was on the ground and he picked Tommaso Ciampa up to a vertical suplex from the ground. So he got basically he's in the seated position. He gets the suplex, then he gets to his knees, and then he gets to his feet, all while Tommaso Ciampa's in the vertical suplex. Uh, and then there was a one moment where he had a ankle lock. I think it was on. Yeah, he had an ankle lock on Ciampa. Gargano ran in to try to break it up, and then he power bombs Gargano with his other free hand.
That was the most awkward, stiff looking ankle lock I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. Now, to be fair, I didn't see the whole spot because my stream froze, my feed. So,
That power
but
bomb spot?
yeah, the powerbomb spot.
It was
I saw him
fine. It
pick
was
him
just
up.
the ankle lock was the worst part.
Okay. So yeah, they just keep blowing away the crowd. I still say they just remind me of young Steiner brothers.
Ugh, no. Steiner brothers would fucking floss their teeth with these little fat fuckers.
Well, that remains to be seen. Now, I guess Julius is becoming more of like a Kurt Angle light.
Ugh.
We're gonna get into something later, and you just remember that he's becoming a Kurt Angle light. He used the ankle lock. Just remember that for later on in the show.
Okay.
But yeah, DIY wins. They said something on commentary that kind of stuck out. This is their first appearance at WrestleMania. And being that these two were so heavy black and gold, the Triple H's babies, I kind of got a sneaking suspicion that they may win the titles at WrestleMania.
I don't care.
Well, the story's been R-Truth and The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more R-Truth than The Miz, but yeah, I think DIY may sneak it out. But our official picks will be later, so I can't. That's not set in stone.
Well, they destroyed any credibility they had with this tag team thing. Judgment Day are trying to recruit Andrade. McTurd says that the club is exclusive because he's an idiot. And they're watching his match next week. Andrade has a moment with Priest, who's doing his best to sound extra Latino this week. Finn Balor looked like an idiot. Rhea and Priest get on McTurd's ass for not beating Ricochet last week, so Dom's facing him later. And I guess the tension between Rhea and Priest is yet another angle that's just went nowhere.
Or it's just dormant.
Okay.
You gotta save time for these.
You can still have them. You can still play tension without it going. You can have them be tense with each other without it escalating. Instead,
then it gets repetitive.
Well, it's better than them just being friends again. So now what? They're all of a sudden just going to start bickering just out of the blue?
So when Finn and Priest lose the titles, it's going to be more of a thing. Yes.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. I'll reserve that then. What do you think about Andrade and Judgment Day?
It seems to me that he's going to be facing someone in Judgment Day. Mainly, I guess it looked like it was going to be Finn Balor because he's like, "I'll see you next week."
I thought
Some
he was
people
gonna.
are thinking maybe he's joining, but that doesn't really make sense to me.
The whole Judgment Day doesn't make sense.
I know, but he doesn't. Do you see him as a gothic type? He's gonna start wearing black suits.
Well, he comes out with the skull mask and shit.
Yeah,
Actually,
but
he would be more of a fit in Judgment Day right now than McTurd or Balor. At least Priest and Dom are Latino.
they already got a Latino thing.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They got two of
Yeah,
them.
two of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm just saying that it it makes sense that they would want him.
yeah, it does. I just don't see. I don't see him joining. It doesn't seem like a fit.
Yeah.
It seems
Well,
more like he'll be
I don't
going
think
against.
I don't think any of them are a fit with each other though.
Well, I mean,
Well, Dom and Rhea are a fit, I think.
they fit because they don't fit. If that makes sense.
Especially Balor, he's lost.
He's wearing a bucket hat for Christ's sakes.
A zebra printed bucket hat
Yeah,
with a matching jumpsuit.
yeah.
He's lost. Bobby Lashley needs he needs to get in there and intervene. Street Profits, somebody needs to stop him.
Hey, you're getting too far.
I skipped the tag match.
So we had Katana Chance and Kaden Carter versus Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell. This is just more story building for Candice LeRae. So there was a point where Katana Chance, the white one, she she's going against Indy Hartwell. She does like a reversal of a back body drop. She lands on her feet and then tweaks, and I put that in quotes, tweaks her knee. So now she's in the corner. The ref's checking on her. Indy Hartwell has stopped. Carter is over there checking on her. They're like, they're telling Indy, back up, she might be hurt. All of a sudden, Indy, she walks over to her partner, Candice LeRae, who's on the turnbuckle, because she doesn't know what to do. Oh, she's hurt. We got to stop. Candice tags herself in. She runs over and drop kicks Chance, and then Carter. Golly, why do I keep mixing them up? She drop kicks Carter, and then she puts Chance in like a single-legged Boston Crab and makes her tap out. So the story here is Candice didn't give a shit. So more heel tendencies.
I do want to make a correction. I did say last week that Indy was the tall, ugly one, and I guess she just didn't bring her A game because she looked a little better this week.
Well, that's good.
But she is the tall, ugly one compared to Maxine.
Well, that's a lot of people.
They recapped SmackDown, the Rock segment, the concert, and the what can I say, Michelle? You're welcome. And we're getting a Bray Wyatt documentary. Comes out April 1st. And the only thing that I have no fucking idea is how Hulk Hogan is involved.
I didn't see him. He's in it?
Yeah. How is he in it?
Let me get in there, brother.
Was Hulk Hogan, was there ever a time in WWE that Hulk Hogan was there at the same time as Bray Wyatt?
I don't know. I would only think like maybe one time when he was hosting WrestleMania and Bray Wyatt was there. That's the only time that I can think of.
Yeah, so it's just weird.
Like, yeah,
How
when
the,
he was in
how the fuck does
Nexus.
he just keep slithering into these documentaries? He's all over the place.
Well,
I
it'll
got
be
one more
interesting
match in me, brother. I'll see you at the Royal Rumble.
It'd be funny if he starts telling a story about his match with Bray Wyatt. And we were in the Silver Dome, brother. It's like, you let this man get on this TV and lie to everybody like this.
I was watching the Scott Hall documentary, or the biography, the A&E thing, and Hulk Hogan's now saying that Scott Hall influenced him to be heel. I saw Hulk Hogan doing what he was doing, and that convinced me to change my thing. Even though the story's always been that Bischoff had to convince Hogan. Hogan didn't want to do it.
Is that the story?
That is the story.
I've heard Virgil say he started it. He did say it. He said, I'm the reason for the NWO.
Okay, well, how can I argue with that?
Everybody's trying to take credit.
It's like the screw job. Oh, I was there. I was there. I was hiding in the locker, peeping through the slots. Nobody saw me.
Yeah, everybody's just taking credit for it. All these liars. Someone. I mean, if anything, I would believe Bischoff the most. That he said, "Hey," because I remember some documentaries like, "Hey," or he was talking to Hogan, and Hogan's like, "I've done everything." Well, you haven't turned heel. I believe that.
Yeah. But yeah, to convince him too. It wasn't like oh, that's a good idea. Like, I don't know, man. It's like when they tried to turn Cena heel.
Yeah. Now, according to Cena, he said he was gonna turn heel against The Rock on the second. I think it was the second one. He said he had the theme music ready. He had he had filmed new theme music. He had new gear ready to go. And then they said, "No, we're not going to do it." So he was ready to turn heel, which contradicts all the stories that says he didn't want to turn heel because of all the Make-A-Wish stuff. So
right,
I don't know.
Who knows? But I am kind of excited for the documentary. Although I think it'll be, I think he's going to be Kurt Cobain myself.
I don't know. I think it's accurate that what they're going to say about him.
Well, obviously,
Like he was a brilliant mind in the industry.
yeah,
Him
he
and Matt
was.
Hardy.
What?
I said him and Matt Hardy, like
Uh,
two of the most creative dudes in the industry. The Hardy compound, the delete. I don't know who came up with that, but I think it was Matt Hardy.
yeah, I think it was.
So I don't know. But I did put on the X machine that's going to be a tough watch because it's going to be sentimental and stuff.
Yeah,
Not
they had
that
somebody sobbing already. Oh, so I miss him so much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sound like him. I'm not trying to mock him.
And they're going to have.
I know how that sounded.
They're going to have Bo Dallas in it too. I think John Cena's doing the voiceover. I think I remember.
I saw him in there too.
Yeah, I think he's doing because John Cena's got that voice. So I think he's doing, the narration. He's doing the narration.
Voiceover narration. I got you.
Yeah. But I know it'll be a well done document.
Is this going to be the first one after Vince?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, moving on, we have Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring. He says in less than 3 weeks, he's facing Roman Reigns for the highest prize for the second year in a row. And they're also having a chat on SmackDown. And then Cody brings up the Rock's concert promo thing. Says, too bad he didn't want to be here tonight. Cody takes issue with the Rock calling himself the world's greatest heel. Cody says Rock's not a heel, he's an asshole. Don't get emotional, Rock, and $7 team wouldn't want you to do that after poking fun of me for shedding a tear while talking to Michael Cole. But hasn't the Rock been crying the entire time? As soon as the fans wanted someone else, Rock ran to his friends at TKO board. And Cody says the Rock came to save a house that doesn't need to be saving. And TKO gave in to the Rock's demands because they're yes men and are too scared to tell you like it is. But Cody isn't. But Cody sucks Rock's dick first. That seems to be his thing. I'm going to suck your dick first before I get in my insults. He did it to Roman, too, on SmackDown. Cody says the Rock's a terrible sale. I'm sorry?
I said, that's how you do it. You just don't understand.
Okay. It's weird for me to, let me tell you about all your accolades. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're terrible. I don't know. Especially after the Rock got so personal.
Yeah.
He's already said the Rock's awesome. He's said that like 100 times already. He doesn't need to keep saying it. He's starting to sound like Machine Gun Kelly at this point. Do a diss song that's 90% of it's just a tribute. The Cody says Rock is a terrible salesman, a carny succubus. And for those who aren't in the know, that means he's a whiny bitch. Cody says Rock needs the business more than the business needs him. And you brought up my mom in an interview. That's cool. I know your mom. Which I love the delivery.
Yeah, and then you hear the crowd, oh.
Yeah, shit. Then Cody sucks the Rock's mom's dick. It's like, why?
Yep.
Says
like,
Rock,
he's going to give it to her.
Yeah.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah, she's the salt of the earth. I'd let her babysit my children.
And she's undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah. God damn it. Cody says the Rock should extend the same dick sucking to his mom. Rock also better think twice if he thinks he better think twice if he thinks he's big and bad enough to make his mom tremble. She beat up an undercover cop while at a Willie Nelson concert. She can whip you, Rock. Cody says that he's not sure if he's winning the tag match. Definitely not sure if he's finishing his story. But Cody wants to know how The Rock can be so confident when he hasn't wrestled in years. And when that bell rings, Dwayne, are you going to bring the big Dwayne energy? Or are you going to suffer from LDS? Little Dick Syndrome. And Cody congratulates Brian Gewirtz for coming up with the final boss line. And says, but at Mania, Rock's not the final boss. He's just going to be Roman's side chick. What do we think so far?
Well, I wish Cody could have toned his language down. He was saying such harsh words. You're supposed to be the face in this whole thing. You think Captain America would be talking like that? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't stoop to that level. Like, you're supposed to be a role model for the kids here, and you're over here calling people little dick energy or little dick syndrome.
Little Dick Syndrome.
Yeah.
You're a bitch.
Calling him a bitch.
And an asshole. Now, he did have some choice words for his mama.
Yeah, he should keep saying stuff like that. Your mom's a nice lady.
Okay.
Spit venom with it, too.
So you
Your
should
mom
just...
is so nice.
So you're saying that no matter how vile and vicious The Rock gets, Cody should just reply with, "You're right. I agree with you."
Yes.
100.
Maybe throw in there, that's fair.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right.
No, but it was good in all seriousness, though. Actually, golly, I'm not gonna get that one. He
Retaliated.
gave it back because The Rock's been giving all these jabs. Really, Cody Rhodes has just been taking it. So finally, he's giving some back. So it's good that he came out with that fire.
Yeah, I don't know. He says a few naughty words and my dick's supposed to get hard. That's how I kind of walked away with it. Like he said some nice things about The Rock. He said he didn't know if he's going to win the match.
He did.
And he said The Rock's mom's lovely. She's a lovely woman. She's a handsome woman.
Yeah, but then he throws in bitch and dick.
Yeah. Well, to The Rock.
Yeah.
And
like he could have been a little bit more, I don't know, cut him back. He's been cutting you down, cut him back a little bit.
It also seems like it's more personal between Cody and The Rock than it is between Cody and Roman.
I guess at this point, yeah. Because The Rock's been doing all the talking. Now let's revisit, while we're on that subject, remember everybody thought The Rock was going to turn on Roman at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like that's the case anymore.
Why is that?
Well, I think when he cut the promo on Cody's mom, that went to a line that can't be crossed back over.
Yeah, but it's The Rock. He's a bullshitter.
So he's gonna say, "Oh yeah, that was just deep in character." Like I was thinking, what's next? Is he gonna have sex with Cody's wife? Oh no, we got to really. This is only so we can fool Roman Reigns. This will really show him.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's gone too far for that to be the story.
That's fair. Well, I mean, if he turns on him, it won't be because of Cody.
Yeah, it'll be because of the. I don't think he would help Cody. I think it's more so he would leave Roman.
Yeah. I could see him doing like a rock bottom to Roman and leaving.
Yeah.
Or just walking
that
out.
could happen. But they're not losing the tag, that being The Rock and Roman. They're not losing the tag match, I don't think.
No, they're not.
So anything that's happening is going to be on night 2.
Unfortunately, Rollins is going to go 0 for 2. If he beats McIntyre.
He ain't beating McIntyre.
Yeah.
Well, he might. But he's not walking out as champion. If he beats McIntyre, then Priest
better get his ass out there.
Yeah. I think he'll cash in because at this point, Priest. Well, I guess we kind of went over that. So Priest, at this point, I'm assuming the tag match thing is going to be night 1. So this will open up for Priest to be able to cash in night 2.
Mm-hmm.
So Judgment Day will lose, but then still have a title by the end of the night.
It would be interesting if McIntyre wins and then Priest cashes in.
That's the other option.
So McIntyre has a new target till Punk gets back.
And then that would be another thing for McIntyre. He had his moment, and then it got taken away again.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a beautiful story.
And he just gets more and more vicious.
Yeah.
Like the more slights McIntyre has against him, the more he takes it out on the world. Poor Ricochet.
And then that'll keep him busy until Punk gets back. And then not being like he's coming back Monday, but not that back. Like when he's actually back.
Right. When is he supposed to be back? Do you know?
No.
Okay.
That's out of my realm. I'll just say he'll be back when he's back. But they had that video package, and he had that thing on his arm,
Yeah.
so that didn't look like that was anywhere close to being back. But he was already lifting weights too, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, going back to Cody, Heyman interrupts with a pre-recorded "Ladies and Gentlemen," and then Heyman says their values should overshadow their conflicting interests. Last time Heyman saw Cody, he brought a bunch of security guys for Cody to whoop on, and for that, Heyman is sorry. As a wise man, that was stupid. 1, because it didn't work, and 2, because it was just plain dumb. So Heyman apologized again. Cody interrupts Heyman, saying he didn't ask for an apology, and invites him to the ring. Heyman says, I'm cool on the apron. And he has a message from Roman. Heyman says Roman gives his word that it'll just be him and Cody at SmackDown. Oh, and Heyman, but he's no physical threat. I was kind of hoping that Heyman would just whoop on Cody. Cody, just give him a Cody cutter. Cody says, deal. Even though, like, they already said that this was going to happen. I don't know what there's a deal over.
Come with no backup. That's
yeah, but okay. Heyman says, oh yeah, I forgot. You need to come alone too, Cody. Like it's a big hindrance not traveling with a crossdresser. And Jay says later that he has Cody's back if he needs him later. Cody says he's keeping his word. He says the same thing to Rollins too, basically.
Yep.
So we get Roman and Cody and Heyman face to face on SmackDown. No backup. Mano y mano.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they can say the same shit that they've been saying for weeks now. It's getting to the point where I think it's getting redundant.
Well, they only got 2 weeks to go, so
yeah, that's true. just gotta grit through and bear it. Ricochet beat Dominic. Whatever. Okay. Gunther and
say there.
Gunther and Sami Zayn had a contract signing. Before that, Sami Zayn and Gable had a backstage interaction. Sami says it was an honor to face Gable and that he pushed him further than anybody's ever pushed him. Gable's bitchy. Says Mania meant more to him. Sami says he has crying kids too. Gable says it's not about that. Sami says, well, what's it about then? And Gable says, you can't beat Gunther. And Pierce starts the proceeding, but Gunther interrupts. Gunther says that this is a contract signing for the biggest match in the Intercontinental title's history. So why is the challenger coming out dressed like a child? Sami says Gunther's smug smile is starting to piss him off. He doesn't believe Sami can beat him either. That's because he's already beat you, Sami. Let me just say this. Gunther beat Sami. I want this to linger over everything.
Yeah.
So Sami says he's been the underdog all his life. He ended the longest tag title reign last year. He's going to end the longest Intercontinental title reign this year. And then Sami signs the contract. Gunther tells Sami to listen to Gunther. Gable. Not Gunther. Gunther tells Sami to listen to Gable. And then everybody in the building cheers your name. I think they love you. They don't believe you can beat me either. And if you were really honest, you don't believe you can beat me. You're standing on my doorstep begging to receive the beating of a lifetime. So whatever you need to do, believe, dream, keep on doing it. Because at WrestleMania, your dreams meet reality. Then Gunther signs. And Gunther goes to leave, but Sami Zayn wants to talk some fucking more. Sammy tells Gunther to look into his eyes again because he's winning. Then Sammy storms off like a woman.
It was a good promo by Sammy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I want to believe, but we just know that it's not happening. He's not beating Gunther.
I'm starting to get 50-50 now.
He's not beating Gunther.
He better not.
There's
Just
no way.
the you can't beat Gunther storyline that they're doing. Either that or Gable's gonna fuck him.
Yeah. I kind of got. First of all, can we talk about the Gable part yet?
Yeah, go ahead.
I had a bigger part with Gable in this whole thing. So yeah, it seems like the first one he said you can't beat Gunther. I don't know, kind of planting seeds. It feels like that he might be turning on Sammy. Maybe Sammy's going to get close, and then he's going to cost him the match.
That's immediately what I thought.
Another thing with Gable, right, is after that segment, he's trying to give Sami Zayn pointers. He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna get a window of opportunity to take advantage of Gunther. He's different than that."
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
says Gunther's not like anything Sammy's ever wrestled before. They've already fucking wrestled.
Not even that, but you're over here you're like the Gunther expert now when you've lost to him twice.
Yeah.
You lost twice. You got the one opportunity, you didn't beat him, and then you got another opportunity, you didn't beat him again. But now you're like the Gunther expert. I know how to beat him, but you didn't beat him. You lost twice. Not only that, it's like if I'm gonna listen to you for anything, it's to do the opposite of what you do. Like, why are you trying to tell me?
Oh, what'd you do? Okay.
Yeah. It's like the Rush Hour movie. Which way did he go? That way. That way? You sure? Yeah. And then he goes the other way.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Gable, he's trying to be like the authority here of Gunther, but you didn't beat him.
Yeah, you're a loser.
Well, I guess he did get the count out, but
He did.
that doesn't count. We're talking about pinning shoulders to mats here.
He didn't get the job done.
Yeah.
Awesome Truth beat into share.
This was I skipped it.
I just want to say this is the first real tag team in this whole half-assed, thrown together tournament, and they beat them.
Yeah, I skipped it. I knew who was going to win. I couldn't bear seeing it, so I skipped it. I was like, I can't watch this.
Oh, and they lost in the dumbest way possible. R-Truth just fell on one of them, and that got the pin. So, thanks, Indishare.
And that, I guess, is their way of protecting them.
They lost to R-Truth and The Miz.
Yes. And obviously, R-Truth and The Miz got some offense against them, too. So, yeah, I just couldn't watch it. Couldn't do it.
I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. Like, that is a real tag team. And such a fucking waste.
Well, let's just have a moment of silence for Indishare. I guess while we're having this moment of silence, that was the moment, by the way. I guess while we're having the moment of silence, we might as well go ahead and throw Karrion Kross's group on that moment too.
Are you finally conceding?
I think I got to. I think I got to throw in the towel.
Good deal.
I think it's over.
It was over before it started, my friend.
I thought there was still a chance, but yeah, it's not happening.
There's always Scarlett.
Oh yeah, she's there.
I mean, they're not going to do anything with her, but she's fun to look at. CM Punk says he's going to be at WrestleMania. He's also going to be at Raw. I think we already said that.
Yep. And I believe I said that on that thing. That remember the kickoff show. I said he pretty much said he was going to be at WrestleMania because his mouth still works.
Yeah. And Drew McIntyre comes to the ring, and then Rollins interrupts McIntyre's entrance to come out dancing. You know, Rollins had to steal from Brock Lesnar and LA Knight. And Rollins says he didn't see Drew there because he was too busy stealing the spotlight. McIntyre says enjoy it now because after Mania, the spotlight will be all his. Rollins says he came out to tell McIntyre he's right. He is a spotlight junkie. Then the retarded fans start chanting spotlight junkie. McIntyre, God, I hate the fans. Spotlight junkie. Look at yourselves. Look at yourselves.
Yeah, they got to stop following Seth Rollins stuff. Like if he tells you to chant something, you got to stop following it. He's also the one that had him chanting diarrhea. So
right, his chanting privileges should be taken away.
Yeah.
McIntyre tells Rollins that all the jokes he wants to tell, or he can tell all the jokes he wants. The punchline comes when he's holding the title at Mania. Then the crowd starts a what chant, and McIntyre says, "Oh, you guys, you know you just say what because you're glad I took out CM Punk. Thanks for reminding me." And then they chant CM Punk, and Drew says he'll be on Raw next week. He'd never come to a place like Raleigh. Then the crowd starts booing. He's like, "Ah, see Punk, they're booing you." And he starts. It looks like he's going to go on a CM Punk rant, and Rollins cuts him off because he just decides to get serious all of a sudden, and I stop caring. He's beating back.
The whole thing was like, and the punchline is when I take your title, and I guess Rollins was, while Drew was playing with the crowd, Rollins was stewing. Then he got fed up, and he basically told Drew McIntyre that this isn't a joke to him. He's been doing this for 20 years.
The same shit he always says.
And
I've been doing this my entire life, and I have a daughter and a wife.
Pretty much.
You're going to sing my song.
This is the most important thing to him. So
I like the taste of cock.
Wow. Boy, you're really on it today. You know they'd be listening.
Good. Let them listen. That's what Seth Rollins sounds like when he's sucking Becky's dick.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course.
No.
And
that's what he sounds like.
Oh yeah, and then Drew said something about I forgot what he said. Something about ruining the spotlight.
Yeah, so you ruined it when you mentioned The Rock. Why can't it just be about me and you? Why is it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is it so hard for you to just like put over the title that you work so hard to establish? The wrestler's title, the workhorse title. Like you're fucking interjecting yourself into this Rock bullshit when it should be about you and me. That should be our moment. And McIntyre tells Rollins that his priorities are fucked up, and all he cares about is, and at this point, all he cares about is Seth showing up. Like you can do whatever you want in the tag match, but you better show up. If you have to crawl, if I have to carry you, you're going to be there because I'm getting my fucking title. And he's not getting the moment he deserves. He's getting the moment he's fucking earned. And then Rollins says, "Well, you're gonna find out that Becky's dick tastes, or I mean, you're not gonna as good as you think you are." That's it.
So my one takeaway from the whole thing was I did like how Drew McIntyre's like, you've ruined my moment. Like he already knows he's winning. He's like, you've ruined my moment. It's gone. Now I just want the title.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tried to have this good moment. You've ruined it. Just give me my title and move on.
Yeah, it's going to be basically a tainted victory because Seth's getting into business that doesn't concern him.
Yeah, but he's already accepted it. That
Yeah.
being Drew.
After that, New Day beat Otis and Tozawa. And I also
couldn't really care about this match. The
Yeah.
one thing that did stick out was Otis's hair was like wild.
Okay.
He had his mullet as usual, but like I don't know, the hang down part of the mullet was like a fro kind of. I don't know. A white fro, of course. I guess that's the new thing. I've seen a couple of people do that.
A white
And
fro.
yeah, they got like so it's and this by the way, I'm talking about like people on the street too. So you got the mullet.
See people on the streets with white fros.
Well, you got the mullet, and then
They shouldn't be lasting very long on the streets then.
not a fro. I'm
Okay.
saying you got the mullet, but the part that hangs down at the bottom is like poofed out.
Oh, like Jay Uso?
No,
Oh,
I mean kind of like that, but it's like out there.
okay. I guess I didn't
I don't
know
know. It's like I don't know how to describe it. I guess I'm not a mullet connoisseur.
that. And I don't think you should be expected to be.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the one thing that stuck out. But I didn't think Alpha Academy was going to this championship thing, so
Not that version of it.
yeah,
Not gonna be fucking Tozawa.
Otis and Tozawa. Yeah,
I mean,
they
they already have our truth in there.
Yeah, enough's enough.
I skipped the main event, of course. I will say that I did see Becky have the stare down with Rhea, and she had to get on her tiptoes, like a real man would.
Well, Rhea's got that presence still. It was
it's like night and day. They shouldn't have done the stare down because Becky looks like a fucking anorexic high school girl, and Rhea looks like just a world beater.
well, actually before the main event, there was a segment with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan.
Skip that too.
I didn't skip it, but I also didn't hear one word that was said because Liv Morgan's nipple was out. Now, not like out, but it was. She was wearing a white tank top, and her nipple was showing. So I didn't hear one word in that whole thing.
Okay.
Yes, I did go back to that segment just to mention Liv Morgan's nipple. And then, and yeah, the main event, it was pretty good. Nia Jax, she still is giving good matches. Surprise, surprise. But I don't hear anybody giving her credit for it. She's just, I would say since she's returned, she's turned it around. But you won't hear people giving her credit. They just keep going forward with it.
So she has a slightly hard nipple, and that's what gets you?
What?
She has a slightly hard nipple, and that's what gets you?
It wasn't slightly. It was pretty hard.
It's just a little hard. Well, she's got little bitty titties.
I was trying to see if they were pierced. I couldn't tell or not.
They're not.
I was really focused. As you see, again, this whole segment was going, and this is my real concern of this whole thing.
That doesn't seem like a good idea to wrestle with your nipples pierced.
Rhea has hers pierced.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Is there proof of that? I don't believe you.
Well, you know, you gotta use some of that zoom.
Citations.
You gotta use some of that zoom on her. Instagram is best. You can because you can pinch and zoom, so you gotta really zoom in. But you can tell. I'd have to find what that one. There's one though, like you can tell easily.
Okay.
I think it was like before Elimination Chamber. She's wearing like a body suit that was like one solid color, and if you really zoom in, you can tell.
That just seems like it would be a disaster waiting to happen. I don't know. I've never wrestled without pierced nipples, so I guess I can't say.
Yeah, I could. I don't know why it would happen, but I don't know. This is what I was trying to figure out during that segment.
It doesn't look like it.
Well, there's anyway. We'll move on. We don't need to break down Liv Morgan's nipples.
I think we already did.
We gave you in-depth nipple talk over here.
Play by play.
Yeah.
If only we had the little Monday Night Football thing. As you can see, it's really protruding here.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. Put the arrow like right on. As you can see right here, like 4 arrows. In this area right here, you can see.
And this area right here is where I nutted.
Man,
what?
And then you want to take your pants down and.
Did anything happen between Seth's husband and Nia?
No, like I was saying, it was a good match between the two. The endings, it was kind of, I don't know. So Nia Jax, she hits an Annihilator. Becky Lynch broke the 10 count from that. This was the last woman standing match. There was a manhandle slam through a table. Nia Jax was able to get up from that, and then a leg drop off of the ladder through a table to the announce table was the finish. Becky Lynch finally overcomes Nia Jax. And then, post match, Rhea Ripley came out. They did the stare down.
It is worth noting that Seth's husband is the only woman to be in both last woman standing matches.
When was the other one?
She had one against Charlotte Flair. I never watched it, and I never will. So,
well,
or maybe I did. If it was NXT, I probably did.
I don't think wait, wasn't Asuka in one? I'm sorry,
Asuka. No. Well, according to what I read, it was Becky Lynch and Charlotte, and then Nia and Becky Lynch.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Right. I thought the Nikki Cross match with Asuka was
a last woman standing.
Last woman standing, but that might have just been a hardcore match.
I don't know. But that was Raw. Just filler.
Yes, Asuka versus Nikki Cross was last woman standing. Well, but I guess we're not counting NXT. We would just count the main roster. Because I don't see Becky Lynch and Charlotte being on NXT last woman standing.
Okay. Well, then that was wrong, I would say. Because I would include NXT.
Okay. Oh, yeah. They tried.
Yeah. Especially when the two people from NXT are currently on the main roster.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them is. I don't know what happened to Nikki.
Who knows? But this is a good time to let everybody know that we are on the road to 500 subscribers. So make sure to hit the little subscribe button. And while you're down there, you can hit the like button as well. We're also on all the social media, so you can give us a follow on Twitter, as I've already mentioned. We're on Instagram. No posts over there, but you can still follow us there. One day there will be. Well, when eh, forget it. And then yes, follow us over there. And then also on TikTok. Before it gets shut down, we are over on TikTok. We're also shout out to the audio only listeners. Um, you guys are growing, so shout out over there to the audio only. I don't know if you can do the comments things on there, but if you are, say audio only, hashtag audio only, one or the other. Do what you feel free there, and yeah, that's about it.
What if I wanted to buy a WWE shirt?
Oh yes, we are also affiliated with the WWE Network. So if you are getting any of the new merchandise, like Drew McIntyre's Savior to WrestleMania shirt, make sure to click on that link in the description and knock yourself out, and then let us know what you get.
All right, so we head to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for SmackDown. And Cody's in the building here too. And true to his word, he appears alone. Damage Control is also there. And for some reason, Io is wrestling Naomi. And Escobar beat Rey Mysterio Jr. Escobar hit Rey with a 619 and a Phantom Driver. And for some fucking reason, Dominic decided to show up and cost Rey the match. Didn't they just have a thrown together match last year too?
It wasn't thrown together.
It felt like it was.
Their life was the build. And this year, their life is the build. Not
Okay.
saying that that's for the match. I mean, I kind of see that oh, by the way, before we get to that,
Mhm.
The reason, as I was so quickly corrected on on X, is because Legato and LWO were banned from ringside. Because I said, why the hell is Dominic the one making the doing the interference? Well, that was the reason. So very quick to be corrected on that. I mean, quick, like within seconds. It's almost as if they were waiting for someone to ask that question. But yeah, so yeah, it looks like we're getting, maybe it's going to be Dom and um, Santos versus Ray. I'm going two ways here. It's either going to be Dragon Lee, which seems to be the going rumor. It's like Dragon Lee being Ray's partner. But I'm throwing a curveball, thinking maybe it's going to be Andrade because he has been teasing this whole thing, and it would make sense that he is Ray's partner. That's my curveball.
I got a curveball for you. I'm not going to watch it.
Well, that's not a curveball at all.
Oh.
So there are rumors that they'll be adding WrestleMania Night 1 and 2 will have 7 matches each. So,
Oh boy.
yes, they are stacking more matches onto the card. So this seems to be one. Again, Ray and Dom, this is like a lifetime build. So it's a story that you can always tell because,
I guess it's just it came out of nowhere. If they would have said like, "Oh, I'll be at SmackDown," or something, anything.
Yeah, they really haven't had any interaction all year, but
And that's what kills me. They have an entire fucking writing team, and they can't just put shit together.
or maybe this was it all along. They wanted to surprise us.
Well, it's stupid.
But again, this hasn't been announced, so it still might not even happen.
Okay.
Because remember, initially wasn't it supposed to be? No, Sorry, never mind. I thought I remembered it was supposed to be Dom versus Brock Lesnar at Mania, but
That
that
was
was
Elimination
actually
Chamber.
yeah. So never mind on that. But
It was supposed to be Gunther and Brock Lesnar at Mania.
yeah, that's our maybe I don't know. They just kind of threw it out there, yeah. But that's okay. You're not gonna watch it anyway, so
I don't care.
what's it hurting you?
I don't care one bit. Like they keep. I know Dominic keeps throwing jabs at Ray like every now and then, but I don't know. They already had the
Well,
match. Ray
say
already beat him. There's nothing to see.
well, in honesty, uh, I would more see this than LWO versus Legato at WrestleMania.
That's fair. Yeah.
So there's that at least.
Well, up next, Bailey thanked Naomi, and then Bianca stroke face Belair came into the scene, bringing the segment down even more. Like, who gives a fuck now? It was Bailey and Naomi thanking each other, and then Bianca comes in because she has to steal the spotlight. She's the real Seth Rollins. And Naomi and Strokeface continued their backstage thing through a commercial break, Austin Theory's entrance, and a hype ad for Roman and Cody. The only thing I got from that is Naomi called Strokeface B.
Next segment.
Theory and Waller.
I don't think I'll be commenting on Bianca Belair this week.
Fair enough. Theory and Waller. She sucks. I will. Theory and Waller beat
You want to go
the
more?
OC.
Well, okay. How about this? Do you have anything to say to the to all of our new audience who came to the aid of Bianca Belair? Do you have anything to say? Would you like to address the audience?
Just get some standards.
For the ones who don't know what the hell we're talking about or alluding
Or we're
to,
just going to go into it?
yeah, we're going into it.
Okay.
We got a lot of attention on our last video that we put out. It was regarding one Bianca Belair. A lot of fans. Some would say they attacked us. Some would say they didn't. I don't know. I'm not going to. I took it one way. Harry took it another. So I don't know if they attacked us or not. I don't know if they canceled us or not. That's, but that's what we were talking about. So we're going to now address the fans that commented on that, and then here you go. But I do want to say is before you go, what I do want to say is remember everything was all about mental health and online bullying. Where was all that when this was happening, huh? Huh? What about my mental health, huh? What about sir? What about sir? Shut the fuck up, everybody. Okay, now you can go.
I just remember there was a time when people simped for individuals that were worth it. Bianca ain't
No,
it.
you're addressing the fans.
I am.
Oh, okay.
The
Call them
simps
names.
are, huh?
I said call them names.
Call the little faggots names.
Yeah.
Little retards.
Yeah. Let
Little
it go.
stupid heads. Is that spicy enough?
Yes.
For the record, I stand by everything we said. I'm not going to allow some idiots in a comment section to back me off on that. Go to your Pat McAfee's if you want somebody to lick your balls when you fucking disagree with them.
All right. Do you want to mention any names specifically? What do you have to say to?
Oh, we're getting into that, huh?
Hold on. Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? What do you have to say to Jonathan Anderson 9607?
He's a fag. What do you say?
He's the
Is
one
that
that
the one
called us
that?
nobodies.
Oh, that's the dude that with 35 subscribers and has failed lolicon. Yeah, fuck him. I don't care about his opinion. Makes little Japanese schoolgirl videos and 35 subscribers want to tell us we're nobodies. Fuck him. Fuck you, Jonathan.
All right, there we go. Feel better now?
Go masturbate to your little Japanese girls and your
Yeah.
Bianca Belairs and other token people that you enjoy.
There you go. Feel better now?
Me?
Yeah. And also, just to one last address, you said you couldn't perform 25% of her moveset. Well, I'm a genetic freak. I can do more than 25%. I can give you at least 33%. Talk about 25%?
Her moveset? What, the waving people to come to her? Her little sloppy ass KOD? Oh, the hair whip?
Yeah, I can do 25%.
What part of those moves
more
can...
than 25%?
Yeah, her wrestling is a 4, promos 3, looks 2, worth 0.
Well, let's direct it to the fans. We're not talking about her. We're talking about the fans. The little soy milk drinking bitches that wanted to comment on our post.
Well, I'm
Almond
attacking
milk.
I'm attacking their sacred little cow.
No, we need to attack them. As a matter of fact, if I see any of
Here it comes.
no. Sorry, I'm stepping on your toes here. Go ahead.
That's all good. So after that, a real woman, Jade Cargill, appeared, and she announced that she'll be at SmackDown next week. She also said that there'll be statues built to her, and you don't have to like it; you just have to acknowledge it. I don't see no fucking statues for Stroke Face.
And she is signed to SmackDown officially.
Apparently, yeah. Owens and Orton are facing Pretty Deadly next week. It was a stupid segment.
Yeah.
AJ Styles and LA Knight had an Attitude Era-esque segment as well. Styles, he's documenting his training sessions against LA Knight like a woman. Then LA Knight shows up to Styles' house and he's blaring the horn. Knight goes out to confront them and they just start fighting in the lawn. They're tussling. And the cops come to haul Knight to jail while Styles shouts, "This is Gainesville. You don't know nothing about it." We got law enforcement. Yeah. They protect and serve. Knight tells the cops that they're nice guys, but he'll be back, and tells them to just not show up. At least I think that's what he said. Like, I'm gonna come back. You guys seem like nice guys, so you just don't show up.
Oh yeah, he was like, nothing against you, but I'm gonna be back if he doesn't show up.
Okay.
Because he's telling him to come to SmackDown or he's gonna be back at his house. Gotta love a good home invasion angle.
Yeah, that was neat. That actually brought some life into it.
My favorite part of it was the camera feed cuts out, and they're like, "That was the end of the feed. As we understand, the rest you'll have to see from the police dash cam." And then as the police are coming around the corner, and they're and LA Knight's like pounding him on the ground.
I just like when
they said it so nonchalant, and he's like pounding him.
I just like when the cops are cuffing Knight and Styles. It's like, this is Gainesville, motherfucker.
I believe at one point he even got a cheap shot on him while he was cuffed.
Well, he tried to, but the cop restrained him.
Oh, they should have let him get a couple shots in.
Well, this ain't WrestleMania 3.
We're trying to help you.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Street Profits beat the team that they're feuding with.
That would be AOP and part of the Final Testament. So, yeah, there's that. But before, wait, I think you skipped.
Did I skip something?
Maybe. Yeah, you skipped. Yeah, we skipped a couple things. As a matter of fact, we were so caught up in attacking the fans that we just skipped over a couple things.
Oh yeah. The damage control match.
Yeah, we skipped the damage control match, but what I wanted to say was before that, there was a little Braun Breaker video package, and it was awesome. Huh?
I didn't skip that. I didn't think it was worth talking about.
Oh, well, I wanted to point it out.
That's fair.
You can tell that they're putting so much stock into Braun Breaker. They had all these little stats. It was like he was a professional athlete. The 4.29 shuttle, the 4.37 40-yard dash. Which, come on, that's NFL speed. You're not running NFL speed.
Almost as fast as me.
Well, I did doubt it, but and then they were showing him like spear people through stuff, and I was like, I don't know. It was just a great video package. You can tell that the sky's the limit for him. And then just quickly, Io Sky took on Naomi. Before the match, the Io Sky's theme music starts playing, and before the match, they cut to backstage. She's attacking Bayley, beating her down. All the while, her theme music is playing, and then she walks through the curtain.
The way they made that, or the way they played that up, is that she was walking to the ring. She saw Bayley and just decided to whoop her ass. Like, oh, let me just kick her ass real quick before my match.
Yeah, and then the best part of it was, and then she walks through the curtain, and then does her entrance like that didn't happen.
Right.
Like just goes right into her normal entrance.
Her presentation this week was really good.
Yes, and even my surprise was so the match goes on, and Io wins with the help of damage control. They start to beat down Naomi at the post match. Out comes Bianca Belair, and Bianca Belair fights them off a little bit, but then they get the upper hand. So
I thought she was going to single-handedly take them all out.
Yeah. My surprise was for now a third week in a row, damage control is standing tall.
That is a surprise.
Now where they go from there, was like, I guess they're going to have to.
They go to WrestleMania, and then they're going to be nobodies again.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe it's going to be like a WrestleMania Kabuki Warriors versus Naomi and Bianca, which better hope not. If you're the Kabuki Warriors, better hope not, because that means your titles are going away. Because Bianca's not losing at WrestleMania, and yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that's where they're going, or maybe they do something else. Hopefully, they do something else. But if they do, you know who's winning that.
Good deal. I do think that it's kind of stupid that Naomi does all that shit with her hair, and only like a little bit of it comes across in her entrance.
Okay.
That's the only
I
interesting thing
I
about.
did like the. I don't know. I'm coming around more and more to her entrance though. Did
I
feel
like
like
her entrance. That's the only thing about her that's appealing. I watch her entrance and then I fast forward through the rest of it.
Oh yeah, I'm saying I didn't like it at first. At least the music changed, but I'm starting to come around to the music. The glove part I always liked, but it was the music per se. But it's starting to come around. It's all making sense.
It's not as good as her first theme. I like the "I'm amazing."
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That one was better, but there we go.
And then that Naomi. Great, you know how to spell your name.
It's too many letters.
Right.
It's too many letters.
ALEXANDRAXI. But yeah, it was actually a surprisingly good match. And Naomi is still winless for the most part. So it's like, I don't know. She must have been really desperate for something. Or I don't know. Because didn't she walk out? Because of the creative? Wasn't that her whole thing?
Yes.
So she's come back, and what's different with her creative?
Oh, they still got it. They got to get that. They got to get their looks back.
Okay.
So she has to pay. Yeah, she's got to pay her dues before.
All right.
I guess.
Is that all the shit I skipped?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up the Braun Breaker thing.
Fair enough.
And then, yeah, Street Profits, they took on the Authors of Pain. This also for a qualifier. So, what they're doing on the SmackDown side is each team. So, there's going to be 2 slots. So, you're going to have Theory and Waller take on the Street Profits. They're going to get 1 spot, and then the other spot goes to New Catch Republic versus whoever else won. That was last week, so I forgot. So whoever wins that gets the other spot. Oh, wasn't it LWO? No, Legato.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Whoever it is isn't winning. So there's that.
It's weird that the Ross part is already taken care of, and they're still doing the SmackDown.
It is. I don't get why they're doing that, but
it's also weird that the real tag team, or the only real tag team that they had, they eliminated.
Yeah, the Creed brothers.
No, Indus Sher.
And the Creeds.
Indus Sher is more of a tag team than the Inbreed brothers. Come on.
What are you talking about? The Creed brothers are the future.
Indus Sher would be the future. If I was calling the shots, they would be my fucking tag team champions. Look at them.
They do look impressive, but the Creed brothers also be looking impressive.
They could be your top baby face.
They're impressive.
They could be your top face champions, but Indus Sher would be my top team.
I don't know. Authors are paying. They look good too.
Yeah.
The ones who lost to the Street Profits. I mean,
they
have so many.
Much.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say they had so many moves that just like caused the crowd to gasp. Kind of reminded me of like as we do our retro review when we watch the Faces of Pain, and they always have something that like the crowd gasps from.
Faces of Fear.
What did I say? It doesn't
Faces
matter.
of Pain.
Yes, Faces of Fear.
Yeah, they just look too vanilla for me. I don't know what it is. Like, there's nothing about them that stands out. They're just two dudes in, were they bulletproof vests or whatever the fuck those are?
I guess that's what that is. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't. Yeah. And to share would
Yeah.
be my top team. And then if you want to have the Creed brothers fight and try to beat them, you can do that. But I wouldn't have them beat them. I think you have money within to share.
Well, they do. Just wait until they go back to Saudi.
They already went to Saudi and they didn't do anything with them.
Weren't they on that Super Show thing?
I don't think so.
Not the.
Oh yeah, they were.
The
They
one
were.
that was on
You're
TV.
Right. Yeah. You're right. You're right. They did some stupid shit. I think Jinder Mahal tagged against him or something stupid that doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
I think they lost to like Kevin Owens and John Cena or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It was.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't on TV, so we can't be.
But they wasted him. That's the point. Completely wasted him.
They did.
So that brings us to Roman and Cody, right?
Yep.
Okay. And Roman comes out, says he kept his word. There's no bloodline, so let's bring out Cody. Cody comes out. He says, well, if you're alone, I'm alone. Roman turns to him and says, you believed it. And Roman tells Cody he's a fool. See, you're stupid to me. That's a good line. You're stupid. John Anderson, you're stupid to me. Roman says Cody isn't fit for the job to be the face of the company because he's an idiot. So you think everybody has your best intentions at heart. Well, you need to cut that shit out. You've aligned yourself with my little brother, the crossdresser. By the way, where was he at on Monday? Weren't you in a jam? And I was trying to think like what the fuck he was talking about. And the only thing I can think of is when he single-handedly beat up Jimmy and Solo.
A few weeks ago? Or, well...
No, on Monday. Running. He's talking about on Monday you were in a jam.
But he wasn't, though. He was... Oh, I guess he was, but he was helping Jay.
Right. And he single-handedly beat up Solo, who, by the way, hasn't won since he beat John Cena.
Yep. They sure did fail him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the curse of beating John Cena. Theory and Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next to get the curse?
I don't know. That's probably why he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania this year. Yet.
I did see something that, well, he said he's not going to be at WrestleMania, or he doesn't have anything. But I saw something floating around this week that maybe him and Austin and The Undertaker are doing something at WrestleMania, which is weird. It's a weird combination.
And in a match.
They're all going to come back to help Cody. I guess that's the thought process there.
Okay.
That's not what they were saying. But I'm just...
So all the past legends, we're tired of you, Roman.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that would be something.
Well, that article didn't say that. That was just...
I know. I know what you're doing.
Nor did I read the article, if I'm being honest.
Well, if you watch any of our clips, you can tell we don't read articles.
We read them. I read them. I read the Twitter posts. That's enough.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. What are we talking about here? I'm not gonna click on the link and go to the little page that tells me, "Oh, you can't use ad blockers on this page." Well,
Oh,
then I'm not gonna read anything.
right. Disable your ad blocker to read our shit. How about you not get me as a
Yeah.
customer?
Oh, we need your support. Please disable your ad blocker. So we need your support. Ad blockers help keep our website up and running. I'm sorry, but it inconveniences me. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
I
like,
mainly just
have you ever been to like? I haven't read a Forbes article in so long because they like try to force you. Oh, you can't read our site unless you take off.
yeah, they don't like when you have the ad blocker.
Well, good. I'm not reading your site then.
The Dallas Morning News is like that too.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing here?
Like, I'm just trying to find high school football scores. You need to subscribe and get that ad blocker off.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah, look at
affiliate
Pornhub.
links. Yeah, that too.
Bullshit.
But it's called affiliate links. Put affiliate links on stuff, and you can make money that way. You don't
Yeah.
need to be putting stupid ads all over the place. Also, it takes away from the viewing experience of your website too. It's
It
not
sure
like
does.
1999 anymore.
You got like this little square of what you're trying to watch surrounded by ads.
Yeah. And then you got to try to watch the video, and yeah, it's ads everywhere.
I hate it when the ads are longer than the video and there's
There's that.
multiples. That just makes me click the video off. It ain't that important.
Yeah, there's that too.
So going back to Roman, he said, well, Seth's going to be your shield. Well, I was in the shield and he stabbed me in the back. And you know that's going to happen to you. And Cody sucks Roman's dick. But the first team to beat the shield was his, is what he says. And Cody says he's not an idiot. He knows all about factions and backstabbing and shit. Seth might hate his guts, but he hates you even more, Roman. And if I can't trust Seth Rollins, can you trust The Rock? Cody wants to know who really calls the shots, the tribal chief or the final boss. Roman starts laughing. He's like, didn't you do that last week? But like in reverse. See, that's all you got. All you do is promise shit and you never deliver it. And you want to know why? Because you're number 2. Now, don't get me wrong. You're the greatest number 2 of all time. But that's all you're ever going to be. Because I'm number 1 and I will be forever. And Cody says he's conceded to the fact that the next generation will probably grow up wanting to be like Roman. Again, just tastes so good. As far as being number 2 at WrestleMania when it comes to the title that Roman's had forever, Cody's not number 2. He's the 1. Cody says good luck, tries to shake Roman's hand. Roman says, fuck you, Cody, and shakes Paul Heyman's hand instead. Which, I ain't shaking your hand. And he shakes Heyman's hand and looks at Cody. I guess I'm the only one that thought that was funny. Roman says, or he goes to leave, but then he snaps his fingers very weakly. Side note, there's a tranny talking shit to Roman. Says, you need a room full of strangers to acknowledge your little bitch ass. That's so cool.
What?
And yeah, in the stands.
Yeah. Okay. You heard this?
Yeah, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Roman's standing. Maybe they.
And why did you know?
It sounded like it. I'm just going
Okay.
based on sound. Had the China voice. Okay, a fan. Let's say that. A fan was talking shit to Roman. He's standing in the entranceway with Paul. Paul's holding the title. Roman snaps his fingers. And then there's a fan in the stand, like right next to him. You need a room full of strangers to acknowledge your little bitch ass. And then you can see it's just waving and trying to get Roman's attention. Go back and watch it.
Attention horror.
Yeah. And they bleeped out the bitch ass. Like, got the whole line out and then bleeped later. So. It was loud as day, though. I'm surprised you didn't get that. So Solo and Jimmy appear. So it looks like Cody's fucked. But Cody smiles. And out comes Rollins and Jay. And I thought that entire thing was awkward as fuck. Because Solo and Jimmy, they come out from the stands. And they come on either side of the ring. But then they walk around the ring to get on Roman's side. Wouldn't they just attack?
He didn't give the word yet.
Okay. Just took all that long ass time to get on Roman's side. And out comes Rollins and Jay. So did Cody call after Raw? After he left? After he told these people, I don't need you? Oh, by the way, I think I'm going to actually need you. I know what I said on live television.
Well, he said, he told Roman, if you came along, I came along. So.
All right.
He outsmarted Roman Reigns at his own game. Although, what I was going to say, Roman Reigns, he just said, he's always a tribal chief of his word, so it goes against his character to have them come out. When he said they weren't going to come out.
So the guy that wins by cheating in all of his matches is going to keep his promises?
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't hide the fact that he doesn't cheat, or that he cheats. He doesn't hide that fact. But when he says something, he does it. Like at WrestleMania when he told Edge and Daniel Bryan, I'm gonna stack you. And he did it. He told I forgot what else he told something, but he did that too. Like he said something and that's what happens. So he told Cody Bloodline wasn't gonna be there. They shouldn't have been there because that's what he said. That's his character. He tells you the truth. As all good villains do. They tell you the truth. It's just not the truth you want to hear. Thanos told the truth.
I think a good heel mixes a combination of both.
Of truth and lie?
Mm-hmm. Like, to be a good heel, you got to tell the truth occasionally. But you got to be willing to lie. Because that's what makes you a heel in the first place.
I don't know. I think telling the truth, but it just being the truth that no one wants to hear, that makes you a good heel. Thanos is... Well, I don't want to get into the Marvel thing.
Yeah, let's not. But that was SmackDown. And that was filler as well. And I was expecting more because you were tweeting about The Rock and shit.
I was tweeting about The Rock?
Yeah, I thought you did. Well, you said if there was ever a time for wrestling community to cry for WrestleMania 41. Oh, I guess that was on the 21st.
Oh no, that was different.
Okay.
So I guess this could lead into a little bit of a story. So
Oh, you threw up the 1. Oh no, I was just expecting. I don't know what the fuck.
I threw up the 1 because Roman Reigns is coming out next.
Yeah.
But what I was saying about if ever there was a time for the community to get together, so they're talking about WrestleMania 41, and I guess they're landing on it being in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I don't know if it's Minneapolis, but it's in Minnesota somewhere.
Mm.
And
I see.
I was let down because I thought it was going to be in Vegas, and I've never been to Vegas, and I thought that was going to be the perfect opportunity for me to go to Vegas to go to WrestleMania, and it could be paid for by covering it. But anyway, that's here nor there. I guess putting delaying it one more year will give me more time to actually achieve that dream. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, uh, you know, the wrestling community want to cry. WrestleMania not going to Vegas, that's something to cry about.
I gotcha.
But yeah, they seem to be going to Minnesota.
Good deal. Well, I guess that brings us to our wrestling rewind.
Yeah, I would say nothing really happened with the head to head thing. The
None.
only thing to really take away was that Cody tried to shake Roman's hand after all that's happened. Like, why are you trying to shake his hand after all this that's happened?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. The one thing is, his beef, if he has one, would be with The Rock. But yeah, The Rock's called your mom out. He's called your dog out. He's made fun of your friend. He's called you and your fans bitches. But you're gonna shake Roman's hand after all this
Mm-hmm. He'd probably shake Rock's hand too.
and compliment him.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
You're so much better at insulting than I am, Rock.
Yes. You're a
And you're the
legend.
greatest of all time.
You're a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Your mom's great. Your dad's awesome. I met your uncle once too. He was a nice fella.
I mean, everybody, I wish that I could be in your family. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Just a
uh,
little awkward.
where's the insult? Oh, you're stupid. How about that?
I don't like that vest.
Yeah. Oh, no. See, I do this thing where I got to give you all the compliments before I.
Before I light you up.
Yeah.
Before I light the fire.
I want to make you feel good about yourself before I say something mean.
Yeah. And then the mean thing never comes.
And then you question if you're ever going to say something mean.
Mind games, baby.
Yeah. And then maybe you get you question yourself. It's like, golly, I've been like going so hard on this guy and he says nothing to come back with. What's going on here? Nothing but positive to say here after all I've done.
Well, I guess that just showed that Cody is just as smart as The Rock, or not The Rock, Roman. I don't know. Try to pull a fast one on Cody, and Cody countered.
Yeah, I guess so. Just want to see Cody fight back a little bit more, I guess.
Right. He's kind of a bitch.
Yeah. You're getting ran over in the promo battles. You can almost say you're getting ran over in the comment section. You're not fighting back for yourself.
Yeah, he's like, and I get the you'd want your guy to, you know, not be the aggressor, but you can give him a little bit of more edge, some bite. Letting him say bitch and dick a couple times, that's not it. Especially when like the first 5 minutes is, oh, you're great, your mom's great.
Yeah. Yeah, getting all the compliments in before,
I'd let you fuck my wife, Rock,
and I'd watch.
in the corner.
Yeah. But yeah, it could be better. But yeah, that's SmackDown. We will see what happens. We're gonna be what 1 week away. So I guess next week we got our final WrestleMania picks. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna try to get us. Oh, never mind.
Do they have the card finalized?
I'm sure they'll have it done by next week.
Okay. Damn, man, it really is coming fast. I remember when it was 40 days.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks away.
So yeah, we got our predictions next week, and then have we decided how we're gonna do WrestleMania?
We have not.
Okay.
What did we do last year? Maybe
We watched live and it was awful. Because we just
no.
watched in silence. And then I then I yelled at you because Cody lost.
Oh yeah, and you couldn't see me, but I held the one up. I was holding my ones up.
Yeah.
Maybe we could take it to a vote. I,
You don't know who's
I'll
gonna
have
vote.
time. I'll have time to watch it live. I think we did night 2 live. We did night 1 normal.
I thought we did night 1 live.
No, we did night 2 live because it was, and we might have done both live.
Yeah, I thought we did both live.
Oh yeah, we did because it was okay. Oh, we'll figure it out.
Which I don't know. I don't think they're live. If you want people to watch it and be entertained, I don't know if that's the way to go. But they would make it for an easy show.
I don't know. Some of my we have a lot more subscribers than we did last time.
Right, but what I'm saying is that when we watched it last time, all we did was watch it. We didn't really provide commentary.
Well, what were we supposed to do?
Provide commentary. That's what. Do you not watch people watch shit?
No.
Well, maybe you should
Why
do
would I
that
do
first.
that? Why would I
So you
watch
should
someone
see how
watch
it's
something? What sense does that make?
Touche.
I guess if you say it out loud, it doesn't make too much sense.
No. Yeah, some people are into that, but
I don't know.
You have to provide insight and commentary, though. If you're just two fuckers watching in silence with their mouths open, that was cool. Oh,
so I guess I see it more as like a watch party. So in my head, everybody's watching it on their own screens,
okay.
and then we're just talking about, like if you're having a get together for like a fight night, and everybody's watching it, and then you're just having like conversations. But
so you're not doing like a play-by-play.
Yeah, so you're saying we do a play-by-play of
like a director's commentary.
Okay. See? So we talk about it. Now we were on 2 different pages.
We're always on 2 different pages.
That's why I wasn't commentating, because I thought we were. I was assuming that the people who were hanging out with us were also watching it.
We always have different interpretations of the same thing,
Yes. So, that's why
which
we're
is
the
a good
best.
thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Although it would probably help if we fleshed it out more before. I think our problem is we act before fleshing it out.
We jump out of the plane and figure out how to
Yeah.
parachute on the way down. Well, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I'll throw some ideas at you this week.
All right.
I'll do some research. I will have the time, so there's that.
I should. Well, I'll have to. Yeah, see what's going on. I should have the time too.
All right. But let's go on to the rewind of the wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling rewind. And this year or this week is Starrcade 96. And what a pay-per-view this was. This was a treat.
This was actually, yes, a pretty dang good pay-per-view. I was confused for a little bit.
Okay.
Because I thought it was, because all the matches were like America versus Japan. I was like, are they? It's like, is that just the thing of this pay-per-view? Because they did that last time too.
Right.
But then, the second half wasn't.
Well, I think the Tokyo Dome show in Japan, I think that kind of coincided with Starrcade. So they were building angles for that as well.
Okay. Yeah, there were a couple matches that were set up for it.
Right. Well, a video plays to hype up the main event, and the time for talk is over. Piper and Hogan are squaring off tonight. Hogan has the entire NWO behind him, and Piper is his own man, and he won't even give allegiance to WCW. And we're in Nashville, Tennessee. Shivani, Dusty, and Heenan are on commentary, and they hype up the main event as well. They call it the match of the century again. And Hogan is given the advantage due to being the bigger man and having the entire NWO. And Heenan says it's going to be a very long night for Hogan because he's never beaten Piper, and he's not going to do it tonight. And then Shivani says the NWO are trying their damnedest to recruit more men to surround Hogan with. Which I was expecting a reveal, but that didn't happen. Spoiler.
Nope.
And the first match of the night is Ultimo Dragon versus Dean Malenko. And this is a J-Crown unification match for the Cruiserweight. I don't know how they worked it out. Ultimo Dragon put up his 8 titles. Dean Malenko put up his 1.
Yeah, that's the way I took it. They were, it was for all 9 titles.
Yeah. Which unification would mean, to me, means that they would combine a title with another title.
Yeah, I could say you would say that.
And the sight of Dragon with the 8 titles is pretty fucking impressive, I will say.
Yeah. That's always how I remembered about him having the 8 titles.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't remember there were 8, but him having all those damn belts.
Yeah, I don't remember the specific number, but yeah, he had a shit ton of them.
And I was thinking about that. I'm glad they clarified it. I was like, it's good that he has the 8 titles, but that means he would have to lose 8 times.
Right.
As the titles go away. But yeah, he loses them. It was all or nothing for this.
Well, I like how Dragon was all smiles until Malenko came out. Like it looked like he was just having a good old time. Then Malenko, he came out staring daggers. And once he got in the ring, he just looked at Dragon the entire time as he's taking his vest off. And you can see Dragon, he notices Dean he's not fucking around. So the smile just slowly drops from his face, and he just kind of nods. He's like, all right. It's a nice little moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a Go Dean Go chant. Fans love some Malenko. And they brought up the goddamn match with Steven Regal again. Like, oh, this great match.
Oh yeah, they were talking about how, as I noticed that they were doing it a lot during the cruiserweight matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these guys can hang with the big boys. So yeah, they were talking about how Dean Malenko was proving himself that he can hang with the heavyweights by facing William Regal, and they fought to like a 30-minute draw or something.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that was just the best spectacle of wrestling we've ever seen. Too bad we'll never ever show it on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. If you missed it all, you probably missed one of the greatest moments in wrestling history.
Kills me. Tony Schiavone called it half crab a kind of half crab. And then Dusty's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's a whole half crab. And Heenan's like, well, that's like being half nuts. Malenko got an applause break for drop kicking Dragon's knee, which I thought was great. You never see shit like that. Who gets applauded for the shit that they do? You get the standard "This is awesome" chant, but that's just so the fans can feel included.
Yeah, 5 minutes into a match too.
Yeah, but like who applauds for something like that? Nobody, because fans are stupid now, especially John Anderson.
Well, let's not bring him into the retro.
You guys will learn about him 20 years from now.
Let's not bring him into the retro side. This is the good side over here. These are our good listener fans.
Don't worry, I'll cut it out.
Not those stupid soy milk cucks that are our modern day fans. See, it's just like wrestling now. We got the soy milk drinking cucks who watch the modern stuff, and they get it all in their feelings, and then you got the mature audience probably smoking cigars, drinking on some wine that's been aged for years,
smoking that reef.
Yeah, chill, probably having sex with multiple women if you want to, but if not, yeah, but only if you want to. If you're not,
bodily fluids all over the place.
If you're the monogamous type, you're probably rocking that. Happy
or
wife.
If she don't know. If you step out behind her back, just make sure she doesn't find out.
Whoa, no. Talk about these are
and if she's sleeping, just make sure she doesn't wake up. Kidding. Are we moving on? Okay. So yeah, Malenko did the drop kick to Dragon's knee. They had a power slam that one was awesome and two got another huge pop. And Dragon went for a tombstone. Dean reversed it for a near two. And he had his double arm power bomb.
Awesome too.
What's that?
I said that tombstone was awesome.
Mm-hmm. This was an awesome match. This was really good. It's like everybody brought it to another level.
Yeah.
Especially from the last pay-per-view. Because most of these people, I don't know about Dragon. I can't remember.
I think he faced Ray last pay-per-view.
Okay.
Because for the life of me, I was like, I swear we've seen this. Oh, I thought the Liger and Ray match. I was like, didn't we just watch this live pay-per-view? But they kept saying this was the first time meeting. But maybe it was Ultimate Dragon, because I remember there was the springboard powerbomb that won the match.
Right.
So it was Ultimate Dragon, I guess.
Well, Dean hits a double arm powerbomb, and he goes for a pin instead of the cloverleaf, which I thought was weird. And then Malenko and Dragon try to dump each other out of the ring, but it got fucked up. So Malenko ends up going head over ass outside the ring, and then Dragon ends up just falling and then rolling out like a second later, pretending to be hurt. And Malenko finally gets the cloverleaf after Dragon misses a moonsault, but Sonny Ono immediately gets involved. And then we see a rare sign of anger and emotion from Malenko. Like after he had the cloverleaf on and then he continued the match, you can see like there was a second where he's like, God, I gotta keep doing this. Because he knew he had it. And then he started to get angry.
It was also a rare thing that he actually went after Sonny Ono.
Well, he went after a woman.
Not during the cloverleaf.
What the fuck happened? I don't know if he was going for the cloverleaf or not. He went for something. And woman got on the apron. He went after a woman. And then she ended up raking his eyes or some shit, so Chris Benoit could beat him.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. So I mean, he's gone after the valet / managers before. He's just never lost his cool before. And then Dragon ends up winning with a tiger suplex, which didn't need to happen because Malenko had Dragon pinned, and then he just decided to flip him up for no reason. The ref was even counting, like 1, 2, and then Malenko's like, nope, not good enough. Let me flip him up. And the Ultimo Dragon will face Jushin Thunder Liger in the Tokyo Dome for the Cruiserweight title at some point. And of course, we won't see it because that's New Japan.
Yep, we ain't doing that. But I'm going to mark up here.
Okay.
If you will. So yeah, Ultimo Dragon, he won with the Tiger Suplex. But if you remember, this was the actual suplex that I was talking about when I said he did that suplex that I liked. That was it, the Tiger Suplex.
Okay.
They called it the Tiger Suplex, but I thought that was actually the Butterfly Suplex. That's what I called it. But the Butterfly Suplex is what they called the another suplex. But then he had I think they called it what the full Nelson suplex was.
The full Nelson suplex, that's the Dragon suplex. The butterfly suplex is like a double arm DDT, but you do a suplex instead of the DDT.
Okay.
I looked it up. That's the only reason I'm saying it.
Okay. But yeah, I didn't know that was the Tiger Suplex. I thought it was a different suplex. So
yeah,
my suplex knowledge seems to have faded over the years, but
mine too. But yeah, I had to look it up because I thought this was the Dragon suplex because Tanae even said it was a version of a Tiger suplex. So, but every time I looked up Dragon suplex, that was the full Nelson thing. So then, okay, well, butterfly suplex, okay. So then I just well, what does a Tiger suplex look like? And that's exactly what that is. So Tanae's an idiot. Fuck you, Tanae.
But this is also the suplex that the leopard guy in Tekken uses too. I think his name was, what was his name? King. Yeah, that's what he used. That's just a random note. And then there was also this reminded me of and where I got into all these suplexes, there was on the PlayStation 1, there was a wrestling game. It wasn't a WWE game or a WCW game. It was just like a generic wrestling game, and that move was in there.
Good deal. It is pretty common. Well, up next is Akira Hokuto versus Medusa for the inaugural WCW Women's Championship. And I had to look it up. Akira teamed with Bull Nakano in that awesome women's tag match at World War III 95.
Okay, that was her partner.
Yeah. And holy fuck, Hokuto's entrance was badass. With the contacts and the mask and the frill.
Yeah, she had a great presentation.
And can you imagine if it was today?
If she was in today?
Just the presentation.
Yeah.
Because that was 96 WCW, who clearly does not give a shit about entrances at all.
Yeah, they'd have it cranked up to 10.
Yeah. Medusa looked a little rougher this time around. I'd still smash her.
I was gonna say she was gettable.
But she looked like she's had a couple more beers and she's been to a couple more trailer parks this time around than last time around. She looked clean.
I mean, she didn't have the knockers yet. I mean, she had some knockers, but not the knockers.
Well, she looked cleaner in her last match.
I think it was the hair, because her hair was kind of...
It was the hair, it was the tan. She looked, I don't know, she just looked older. Hokuto was working like a supernatural demon. And she even tried to eat Medusa's foot while she had her in some sort of stretch hold. And she was fucking awesome.
With the shoe on, by the way.
Yes, with the shoe on. And she beat the living fuck out of Medusa. And Nick Patrick was the referee. And he's out of the neck brace. Although he still grabs his neck when he's makes a call. Although it's only this match. And Patrick...
Well, it's because during the other matches, it was a lot more blatant.
There's a lot more what?
Blatant.
Okay. Patrick also has slightly longer hair, and he has earrings. Because this is the era where earrings signify that you're a bad guy. And the commentary hates his guts. So back to the match, Medusa knocks Hokuto out of the ring, and Sonny Ono comes running around behind Medusa and nails her in the back of the head with the American flag. Like he ran full speed, no hesitation, just whacked the shit out of her with it. And Patrick ends up seeing the flag, and he just picks it up, places it in the corner. He's like, "Oh, what's this doing here?"
I like his little like scowl thing when he's being a bad guy too.
Yeah, he does that when he always does that when he pins and then he holds up his fingers. And he has that little scowl, like two.
Yeah, especially when he's cheating the person.
Uh-huh. Patrick's great.
He is.
So yeah, he's picking up the American flag, and then this is all while Akira continues an assault on a near unconscious Medusa. And Hokuto ends up winning with the Northern Lights bomb. After the match, Hakuto's husband wants to whoop Sonny Ono's ass. I think it's because he wants to fuck Hokuto. And I can now say that if Akira Hokuto is on the card, I will be excited. Because this was a damn fine match.
Yeah, it was well done. I mean, she was like throwing her by her hair. One point there was in the turnbuckle, she did the like hanging, like just picked her up by her neck.
Oh yeah,
It's like
and the
golly,
screaming.
and she was smaller, much smaller than Medusa, and she
Was
couldn't
she?
tell that because she was throwing her around like she was bigger.
Yeah, I guess I couldn't tell. But yeah, Akira Hakuto is badass. Chicks today could learn something from her. Now, side note on the women's title,
That they didn't even show.
they didn't show it, did they?
Nope.
Um, Akira held the title for 168 days, and then she dropped it so she can go home to Japan. So 3 months later, some lady named Devil Masimi became the next champion before it was deactivated. They did an angle 2 years later trying to revive the women's title with Medusa, and I guess that's when Oklahoma and Vince Russo were involved, so nothing became of it. This is when they had the Nitro girls and shit learning how to wrestle.
Mm. So what? So we never really see the title get like a thing.
No.
Interesting.
It is interesting because I can honestly say that WCW has had the best women's matches I've ever seen. And for them to not even have a title for it.
Yeah. I was thinking during this match, damn, like Japan, because yeah, both of the women's matches have come from half of the women being from Japan, and
Mm.
then they were hard as hell. And it's
Yeah, I
like,
keep telling
golly,
you,
what are they doing over there in Japan?
women's Japanese wrestling is a fucking blood sport. Just Japanese wrestling in general is just different.
It is, but the women in the '90s, my God.
So after that, they pimped the WCW website. DDP's blowing smoke in some virgin's face while he's talking about his match against Eddie Guerrero later. After that, Mean Gene talks to Piper, Roddy Piper. Gene wants to know how Piper's feeling going into the match of the century. Piper goes on a long bit about how much of a midget he is and how much of a giant Hogan is. Then he mentions Hogan driving a Volkswagen for some reason. Piper says Hogan acts like there's only two icons, but there's Dusty Rhodes and Ed Strangler Lewis. Piper wanted to be someone, so they give him a dress and a bagpipe. He's the only one that can call it a dress because he's tough enough. Piper mentions how rough he has it with 6 kids and how Piper mentions how rough he has it with 6 kids and having left home at 13. And then he says if you take Roseanne Barr's bra, turn it over Hogan's head, it's a yarmulke. And then Gene blows right past all of that to simply ask Piper about his hip. And then Piper starts hopping out of the locker room on one foot. And then Gene goes back to the ring with hope in his eyes. And Piper sounded like he had asthma.
He sounded crazy.
He sounded like he had like some sort of lung disease. And then I'm gonna fuck him up, and then
I wasn't listening that hard.
I couldn't unhear it. As soon as I started noticing it, that's all I heard. I had to listen to it twice because the
Oh, I can understand that. It's like when you hear someone do like a presentation. Usually it happens in a work environment, and then they start saying or you hear and then
Yeah.
you're like, they say a lot, and then that's all you hear is like
Or they say something weird, or say something a weird way.
yeah, and then you're stuck on it.
Yeah.
Like, who says it like that? Now you're like 10 minutes later, you're still thinking about how they said the word. And it's like, I didn't hear anything else you said. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that was Piper and Mean Gene. I did like the big fight feel they gave the main event because it definitely felt like a big fight.
Yes, it did.
And Jushin Thunder Liger versus Rey Mysterio Jr. follows that. And at this point, Liger has been wrestling since the 80s, so I wonder how old this fucker is. Because didn't he just retire?
Yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah. She's been around for a while.
It's the thing about that mask, you're ageless. Couldn't
That's
see
true.
shit. It might not even have been the original Thunder Liger. Might just be a moniker.
Well, they did mention that Liger has overcome a brain tumor
2 months prior.
2 months prior. So good for him. And both men shake hands to start the match. And that's as polite as both men get because they beat the fuck out of each other too. Ray took a powerbomb on the floor. You would have thought he was obliterated the way he was screaming. The way Liger would throw Ray into the turnbuckles. Ray cutting off Liger when he tried getting into the ring. Just sportsmanship just went out the window. They were wanting to win. And Ray definitely brought his A game tonight. He was flying all over the place. This is the Ray that it's like they all just leveled up since the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, they said we got the foot on the gas pedal. Let's keep going.
Right. And Ray tries to do a Frankensteiner to Liger. And while Liger's sitting on the top ropes, the Liger holds onto the rope. So Ray falls on his ass. Then Liger hits a monster sit-down powerbomb. And Ray he's just a hair too late to kick out. So Liger gets the 3. That was a good match too. In fact, Shivani says you're not going to find 3 better matches to open a pay-per-view. And I could not disagree more. Or, I can't disagree at all.
Yeah, it'd be hard to find a combatant to that. But I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. This is another... I said in the first match, commentary kept talking about if they could hang with the heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
And then this match, it had that too. They kept saying, "Oh, could Rey Mysterio wrestle one of the heavyweights?" Well, he wants to focus on the. This is Tenay. he only wants to focus on the cruiserweight title for now. I know that, but could he beat one of the heavyweights? Could he get in there with one of the heavyweights? Well, I don't know, but I know his sole focus right now is on. Like, just answer the damn question. Why can't you answer? Like, you just say yes or no.
No. Is that what you want me to say, Heenan?
But come to find out, Rey Mysterio can hang with the big dogs, and he is the biggest little man. He would earn that moniker later.
Allegedly.
Well, I think he did beat. Didn't he beat the Great Khali once?
Probably.
He wrestled him. I don't remember if he beat him or not, but I'm sure he did.
Didn't Great Khali swing him against the ring post like he was a bat?
Yes. But I'm sure he did. Oh, there was also something on commentary that was funny too. Liger, he did a dragon screw, and then Dusty Rhodes like went ape shit over it. What was that? He said, "I'm gonna save that move for later." And then he said, "Hey, baby, that's called the dragon leg screw."
Yeah, good old Dusty.
Yeah.
Well, Rey Mysterio, I think, was the only one I couldn't see wrestling a heavyweight. Definitely Liger and Eddie.
And yeah, Malenko.
Well, even Malenko, he's a little on the small side too. I don't know. I didn't get to see his legendary match against Steven Regal that they brought up twice.
Well, they all transitioned into heavyweight division, so yes, they could hang.
I mean, they played a video package about the NWO and Roddy Piper and Hogan. They couldn't play a video package of Dean Malenko and Steven Regal.
No, you just had to be there.
God. Chris Benoit and Jeff Jarrett is after that. It's a no DQ match. And I'm not sure what the deal with Jarrett and the Horsemen are at this point. Shivani just kept saying Jarrett's endorsed by Flair and Benoit's a Horseman. But apparently there's tension within the actual Horsemen, so who the fuck knows? And Shivani mentions the videos Benoit and Woman took for Sullivan. And this is the ones I was mentioning where it's pre-Pete Davidson, where they're in the hotel. Sullivan, I'm fucking your woman.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Nancy said you used to take her to this restaurant.
I fucked her there too.
We just fucked in the bathroom. Nancy said your kid's playing this. Okay. Benoit shoves Jarrett to the mat, and then he pretends to kick dirt on him, which I thought was a nice little heel move. Of course, Benoit moves at 100 miles an hour. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it without like killing somebody.
Being a good professional wrestler.
That's true. That's why he was one of the best. Benoit gets Jarrett on his hands and knees and then just starts slapping the back of his head. Then he rubs his boot on Jarrett's head. That pisses Jarrett off. He knocks Benoit on his ass and then starts walking on him. And he does his little perfect form strut. The complete opposite of Flair's. Woman, of course, was at ringside screaming and providing distraction. It was really weird seeing Benoit and Woman at the beginning of the match, just posing side by side, smiling. I think that's when it finally hit me. Like, oh.
Yeah. And then he bought her that dress.
Yeah.
But I guess the whole story was, I mean, at least the Horseman part of the story was, or at least what I got was maybe they're bringing Jarrett in and kicking Benoit out.
Well, it sounded like Benoit's too busy chasing pussy to focus on Horseman business.
As Mongo would say later.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to that. So it's a no DQ match, but they still did the spot where Benoit had Jarrett in a sleeper hold, and Benoit would use the ropes for leverage while the ref wasn't looking, and the ref would stop him when he saw him using the ropes. It's kind of weird. So Arn Anderson comes out, sneers at Benoit, and gets in Jarrett's corner with his arms folded. And Hugh Morris and Conan come out for some reason. They try to kidnap Woman. Woman kicks Morris in the dick, and you can hear the crowd go, "Ooh!" And then Conan locks Conan locks in a chokehold on woman. He wasn't playing around. And then Anderson is watching Jarrett and Benoit fight on the ring floor, and he's instructing Jarrett. He's like, "Get him back in the ring." So Jarrett throws Benoit in the ring, and as Jarrett's getting back in, Anderson grabs him and hits him with a quick DDT on the floor. Just as that happens, Kevin Sullivan comes in on the other side, hits Benoit with a folding wooden chair, and it smashes into smithereens. And Sullivan is also wearing a Four Horsemen shirt with Benoit and Anderson cut out for some reason. And Anderson tosses Jarrett back into the ring, whose arm just so happens to roll on top of the unconscious Benoit. And Jarrett wins 1-2-3. Arn is confused as fuck, as we all are. And woman starts yelling at Arn for not saving her. Arn tells the bitch that he hopes her husband kills her one day. I mean, that it's her fault. He tells her that it's her fault. She's like, my fault. And he walks away. It's like, my fault? How's it my fault? Like, bitch, your mouth's only good for sucking. And then Gene tries to talk to Anderson, who isn't having any of it. Then he tries to talk to Jarrett, who just walks past him doing his little victory salute. And Benoit and Woman don't want to talk to Gene either. And then Mongo and Deborah come out because there haven't been enough people involved in the segment. And Mongo says that he's there to tell it like it is, which means if he tells you that there's a mosquito that can pull a plow, hook him up. Mongo says he's done nothing but win, and Benoit should focus more on winning matches than chasing pussy. And Mongo says Jarrett was served up to Benoit on a silver platter, and he should have won the match, ignoring the fact that Sullivan contributed to his CTE with that wooden chair. And Mongo is so disgusted he doesn't know what to say. So Deborah gets mic time. Deborah calls Woman a slut, and all men want to fuck her, but Steve is the only dick for her. And it's a good thing she's pretty. That's all I can say. Then they show a replay of the crowd, or they show a replay of Woman kicking Morris in the dick, and the crowd oohed even louder. Very sympathetic crowd to a dick kick.
Yeah. There was some line about Woman being ridden hard and put up wet.
Yeah.
Whatever that even means.
Ridden hard and put up wet. I'm sure that's a horse term or something. So we get a Sting video.
I was going to say, it was quite the overbooked match, as they usually are in this scenario.
There's a lot of pieces, yeah.
I didn't realize how much of a fight forever thing was going on between Benoit and Sullivan.
I mean, to be fair, he did steal his wife.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a blood feud with anybody, that would be it.
Yeah, so they really did have a fight forever. So that I didn't realize it went that hard. Or maybe I just overlooked it because I was so taken aback by all the NWO stuff that that didn't stick out to me too much.
Well, it was also kind of early, especially the intense stuff.
That's true. Yeah,
it was a good match, though. All things considered, I think they could have just let Arn interfere. I don't know. That was a lot of shit to follow.
Yeah. Now there was that slow motion of Arn hitting his DDT, and then like all the movement that was happening before he dropped down. I did like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe.
Just his fluidity.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arn's good shit, man. And next up, we get a Sting video package. And we still don't know if he's WCW or NWO. And the last time we saw him was he was leaning pretty heavily towards the black and white. And NWO is trying really hard to recruit him. Lex is sorry. WCW wrestlers who've been attacked want Sting's head on a platter. And Sting just stays chill in the rafters.
I unfortunately got a commercial, so I didn't get to see that.
Oh, well, there you go. The Outsiders,
because I'm cheap, team cheap over here. So I get team cheap, so I get commercials some like this. And then there was another time where they were like, "Oh, let's take a look at the next pay-per-view coming up." Didn't get to see it.
I didn't get a commercial. I know we're cheap too, so I wonder if my ad blocker's working for that too. Although I don't know how that would work. Anyway, the Outsiders face the Faces of Fear for the Tag Team Championship. And the Outsiders are totally failing at being the bad guys. Because they are fucking popular as shit.
Yep, they're just so cool.
And there's a nice little interaction between Heenan and Shivani. Dusty and Shivani are stewing over Nick Patrick having earrings because, of course, that means he's with the NWO. And Heenan says, "Well, I've never actually, seen him interact with the NWO. I mean, he's goofy and he does some weird shit, but I don't think it's really fair to just say he's with the NWO without, definitive proof." And Tony says, "Can I say something? The 1 month grace period that Eric Bischoff gave us to join the NWO or fight them, that's passed. You're here. That means you're WCW. So just start acting like it." And Heenan's like, "Well, can't I be fair and honest?" Heenan's like, "Well, you haven't before." I just thought that was funny.
And it is worth noting that Nick Patrick was the referee on this match.
He was.
Very important to know that information.
And Ming starts off by beating the fuck out of Hall. And it looked like Hall spit in Barbarian's mouth. At least the way the Barbarian reacted. And then Nash gets a Diesel chant, his first tag in. He looks like a bear. And the Faces of Fear beat the fuck out of Diesel while Hall just stands on the apron watching, inches away. It's kind of bugged me. And Patrick refuses to count a pin on Hall because Barbarian isn't the legal man, but he allows Barbarian and Hall to continue to wrestle. So I didn't quite wrap my head around that one.
I like the part where I forget who it was. There was a nerve hold on Hall.
It was Barbarian.
Okay. Yeah, Barbarian. He got the nerve hold. I like the part where Nick Patrick, because Hall was fading, and if you looked hard at Nick Patrick, he was looking over at Nash like...
He was looking everywhere but at Hall.
Well, no, he's looking at Nash like trying to signal him to come help. Come break it up.
Oh.
But he wouldn't move, and then he wouldn't check him.
Well, Six ends up snatching Jimmy Hart's megaphone, of course. Like, I don't know why he brings the megaphone out at this point. I feel like this is like the third or fourth time in a row that Jimmy Hart's megaphone has been stolen from him. And the funny thing is, Ming could have stopped Six at any point. as he was chasing, because he chased Jimmy Hart off saying he's going to squash him.
Yeah.
And Ming's just watching. There's a lot of just watching. And yeah, Schiavone and Heenan, they lose their shit because Patrick doesn't check on Scott during the long ass nerve hold. And Hall gets a second win. And why not? He's been in there for long enough. Nash gets a big boot on Barbarian. Ming breaks it up. Hall and Ming, they fight to the floor. And Barbarian misses a kick. Nash hits his powerbomb 1, 2, 3. And the heels win clean.
I guess.
How was that not clean?
Because Nick Patrick wasn't. He was
Okay. They had, all right.
No
They
outside
won.
interference.
Yeah, they won pretty damn clean. Aside from like that little nerve hold thing. I guess it wasn't little, but
if I remember, he was counting slow. Maybe it was the other match.
I feel like he always counts slow.
Oh, that's true.
But this was a fun match. I will say that. Lots of action, minimal bullshit.
Yep. Those faces of fear. Always a hard-hitting affair out of them.
And I went into this expecting to hate every second of it too. Because I'm not a big tag guy. But yeah, this was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, after that, the NWO is given equal time to Piper's interview. So we cut to DiBiase. DiBiase says the time for talk is over. Piper, you wanted to say you're as big of an icon as Hogan? Well, you got what you asked for, and you're going to regret it. Tell him, Hulkster. Hogan says he has a parade waiting for him in California because he already told him that he's beaten Piper and his 6 kids are crying. And he was able to accomplish this because California is on Pacific time. Hogan somehow thought Piper ran back to Portland and ran away from the match, but saw one of Piper's snot-nosed kids trying to bum a quarter for a Coke. And he knows no matter how much of a liar or a cheater or a woman Piper is, underneath that skirt, he wouldn't leave his kids behind. Hogan says it's Hollywood Day, not Piper Day. And to put the final nail in the coffin, Hogan's going to show the entire wrestling business that he is the wrestling business. Then Hogan says he's not acting with chumps like Stallone or Schwarzenegger, even though he was in Rocky III and would suck a dick in a heartbeat to be in a Schwarzenegger movie at that time. He's ready for the match.
What was that? Was this what this would have been like a Predator?
I looked it up. It was just before Jingle All the Way.
Oh.
So he was still a viable name. Then he did Jingle All the Way and some other shit movie. And then all kind of went downhill.
Okay.
This was like True Lies.
I don't think I watched that one.
Oh, that was a good one. He was a married man / spy. He was hiding it from his wife.
This is True Lies?
Yeah.
Oh. If I could find it, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's worth watching at least once. But yeah, they needed, because before that, I think Junior was his worst movie. And then before that, it was yeah. That's when he was pregnant. How could that not be his worst movie? And then before that, it was Twins with Danny DeVito. So him and Danny are just not a good combination.
Yeah, he needs to stay away from him.
But yeah, he did. It was 96, so it was Eraser. And he did True Lies 2 years before that, and Last Action Hero. And I mean, we're just 5 years away from Terminator 2. But yeah, he did Jingle All the Way, then Batman and Robin. And Batman and Robin, I'd say, was the...
Well, I mean, he didn't have a big role in Batman and Robin. He was just...
He was Mr. Freeze, and he had all the worst lines. And he was advertised pretty heavily.
I thought Batman and Robin was pretty good. For the time, of course. Like, you know, because I'm watching it as a teen. I think I was a teen.
I thought Batman and Robin was a steaming pile of shit. The only redeeming quality of that was Uma Thurman and Alicia Silverstone.
Well, I mean, they had like all the villains in it.
Mr. Freeze was a one-lining retard. Like, Mr. Freeze did not have quips. Mr. Freeze was a cold, heartless son of a bitch that wanted to save his wife and nothing else. And he didn't care how many lives he destroyed to save his wives. He didn't have jokes. Bane was a joke as well. Tom Hardy's Bane is closer to Bane than what we got with that one. And that was the worst part of the entire movie, because Bane crippled Batman. Bane is a genius, and they turned him into some fucking goon. Bane is everything Batman was, except he had the venom.
Your knowledge of DC sounds like my knowledge of Marvel.
Well, I remember Bane because the cover of Batman just getting his back broken was just so, it resonated with me.
Wait, is this the one where Bane was like super huge? Or is that the cartoon? That's the animated series. Yeah, I don't remember Bane in that movie.
Yeah, he was played by Jeep Swanson. He was basically Poison Ivy's goon, henchman.
Okay. Yeah, I can see why that would be a bad thing.
It was an abomination. Yeah, Mr. Freeze was wrong. I guess Uma played a good activist. So, yeah. And then the whole thing with Alfred and Batgirl.
Fair enough.
And the Bat credit card. George Clooney. And the fighting over Robin and Batman fighting over a woman.
Maybe I don't remember so much about
Apparently not.
About that movie. I'm going to need to watch it again.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I have an update for you next week.
Now, I will say, this one's terrible too, but I do enjoy Batman Forever. That was with Jim Carrey. He's the Riddler.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
I mean, that one sucks too, but it's a lot more enjoyable to me than Batman and Robin. But anyway, this isn't a superhero stream. This is a wrestling stream. So up next is, I'm going to have to cut all that out. God damn it. DDP versus Eddie Guerrero for the U.S. title. And this is a U.S. title tournament final. And I guess instead of a heavyweight title shot, DDP gets a U.S. title shot. So that's a good consolation prize, I guess. And I'm only saying this because I just watched the thing, but DDP essentially created Razor Ramon. Like, he gave him the toothpick, told him to shave his mustache, told him to look like George Michael.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in the industry.
Oh yeah, he was.
I guess I take that back. Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was with him when he was the Diamond Stud.
Oh, there you go.
And I don't know if they worked in AWA together or not.
Good to know.
But yeah. So DDP's one of them behind the scenes geniuses. And he was surprisingly over, considering that he's been nothing but a goof. And so much so that they tell the ref that DDP isn't cheating when he grabs the ropes while having Eddie in the abominable stretch. Because usually the fans will say, he's cheating. The ref will ask the fans, no, he ain't cheating. It's fine. Yeah. And Eddie did a great job of playing the little big man. He didn't back down from Dallas at all. Dallas tried to do the ref spot where he gets backed into the corner. And Nick Patrick does it really well. But this ref, he bailed on because he saw how little tea he had. And then great back and forth for both of them. And Eddie ends up missing a frog splash. DDP tries to hit his diamond cutter and gets countered into a backslide. And DDP hits a tornado sit-out powerbomb that surprisingly wasn't the finish. I thought it was. Eddie gets dumped out of the ring after DDP runs into him while he's in the corner. I'm not sure how that worked out, but it happened. Then out come the Outsiders. And I appreciate how everybody is running to the ring except for Nash. That motherfucker does not hurry for anything.
Nope, because he's the heavy.
Yeah. And Hall hits DDP with a god-awful Razor's Edge, then leaves. They look like, I don't know. Looked really awkward.
And this was the first Razor's Edge we've seen.
It is.
And that was, well, I don't know. I guess DDP's a big guy, so he was hard to get.
Yeah, it looked like DDP was kind of sandbagging a little bit. If I can mark her up.
Yeah.
And Eddie hits the frog splash, 1, 2, 3. The Outsiders tell Page through the camera that he should have joined him. And then the NWO comes back to the ring for Eddie. Eddie makes a really good fight out of it, but Nash finally gets a hold of him. Then Hall and Nash hold Eddie's arms on the ropes while Six ravages him with his karate. Then Six grabs the U.S. title, and the Outsiders stand over a still fallen Page. So the Giant steals the title, the U.S. title from Flair. WCW makes a new belt, holds a tournament, and at the end of that tournament, the NWO steals the new belt.
Oh, yeah, they got to have the new belt, too. Like, you don't go making a new belt. But it is, I don't know. Six did hit that little spinning, jumping back kick thing pretty good. And I know you're making fun of his karate, but he did hit that pretty flush.
Yeah, he did. Except for that.
Yeah, the title just appeared, and then they took it too.
So after that, the Giant faces Lex Luger. And by this time, Luger has already proven that he can rack the Giant. So this isn't as daunting of a task for Luger as it would have been a year ago. And it's Ponytail Lex to start the match. This is when he's all, I don't know, smooth. And it starts off with the Giant being Giant, but Luger's not backing down. Giant eventually boots Luger's ass clear out of the ring, and Luger was in so much pain he decided to undo his ponytail from the floor. And the match pretty much goes exactly how you'd think. Giant beats Luger's ass like a big man. Luger would try to make a comeback, but falls short. Luger tries to slam Giant and fails, and you would think that they would learn by now not to do that.
It's always to tell the story.
But it's the same story.
Well,
Why don't we tell the story of somebody learning from past mistakes?
I don't know. It's like the old WrestleMania thing where someone's arms gonna get trapped in the ropes. Usually the big guy.
Okay.
Just part of their thing to do with a big man.
Well, the Giant makes it a point not to pin Luger. He wants to make him feel pain like he's never felt before. And then the Giant goes for a drop kick to Luger while he's against the ropes and misses. And Shivani and I both wonder at the same exact time why the fuck the Giant attempted a drop kick at all. Luger hits a neck breaker, which the Giant kicks out of, and it launches Luger into the referee. So the referee's dead. Out comes Nick Patrick. Just as Luger is about to get the Giant in the torture rack. And Patrick's kind of sneaking behind the ring post, making sure Luger doesn't see him. And Patrick gets in the ring. Lex gets Giant up for the rack. And Patrick gives Luger's leg a little sissy kick. So Luger goes after Patrick. And out comes Sting. Luger shoves Patrick out of the ring and locks in the torture rack on the Giant. And now out comes Six. And he saves the Giant with his karate. Meanwhile, Sting is leisurely making his way to the ring. Probably stopped and ate a hot dog at one point. And Sting wipes the crumbs off his face, finally hits the ring, shoves Nick Patrick with his bat, drops the bat in the middle of the ring, then whispers something in both Luger and Giant's ears. And he leaves. Luger reaches the bat first, but Giant steps on it. He slowly shakes his head and makes to drag Luger back to his feet. And Luger just nails Giant in the dick. Then he starts beating Giant's ass with the baseball bat. And the first ref, who's been motionless the entire time, suddenly comes to life to count the 1, 2, 3. And Luger celebrates a hard-fought victory over the Giant and shows absolutely no concern for the referee whose injuries he indirectly caused.
I mean, what did you want him to do?
Are you okay?
He's got it.
You gonna live? Do you need help? Anything? My bad? And the Giant pouts after the match, while the commentary team says the NWO left the Giant high and dry, even though Six is a one-man army.
And Nick Patrick was out there.
And Nick Patrick was out there.
They had all that help and didn't. I mean, yeah, he was upset, but like, you had a lot of help.
Right.
Having Nick Patrick there should be enough.
Right.
Luger was so over.
Yeah, he was.
Like, that caught me off guard that, like, he was so over.
Yeah, it was pretty popular.
He's like now becoming the face of WCW before, because we know Diamond Dallas Page is going to become that face at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if he doesn't quite get to that level though. I don't remember him.
I thought I remember him winning the belt.
He did win the belt, but I don't think he was ever. I could be wrong. You know what? I might be wrong. Maybe it's just his time wasn't as long as Luger's.
Yeah, it was towards the end.
Yeah. But no, I think, yeah, DDP was pretty fucking popular. I don't know what I'm talking about. So Michael Buffer's in the ring, and he's here to present the featured match of the evening. A match being called the match of the decade. But an event of such magnitude may actually be the match of the section. God damn it. May actually be the match of the century. Wrestling fans, are you ready? Are you ready?
I am ready. This is how you make a. This is how you make a big match.
Right?
Like the things he introduced both of them. I had to listen to it twice because I was like, "Wow, he really stiffed Piper here," but he didn't. He gave them both equal uh, accolades. He said, "For did you get it?
The accolades.
Yeah, the introduction and stuff."
I didn't write it down. No.
Oh, so yeah, he said for because I wrote it. I got it because I talk about the introductions all the
Yeah.
time, and he's like, for Hulk Hogan, he says, introducing first the man who is known around the world. Well, his face is known around the world. Originally from Venice Beach, now living in Hollywood, California. His face is recognized in every corner of the planet, and his name is in every professional wrestling record book. He is the living legend, the reigning NWO WCW. Yeah. So yeah, that's what Hogan gets, and then Piper gets about the same. Uh, so his when Piper comes out, he's also known around the world as a native of Ayr, Scotland, but now living in uh,
Wherever he's
Portland,
living. Yeah.
Portland somewhere. His accomplishments also in wrestling make him known around the world, and he's also a living legend. And he's one of the most popular and charismatic heroes of the sport. So yeah, that's what they both got.
I did get the. He said that. What did he say? Tonight, Hogan meets the opponent he's always wanted to face, which tells me that Buffer is not a WrestleMania fan.
Oh, it was a tag match.
He's faced him before, though.
I thought it was only in the tag match.
I thought they faced 1-on-1.
Well, sorry, at least from what we've seen.
Right, from what we've seen. Still, he's faced him.
Yeah. But I like how this was such built up. And it's good that we watched the other pay per views because I remember at the time I was never like, I don't know, I didn't get the whole Piper thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, rewatching it, I can see like he was such a big part of wrestling history. So
They they had a war to settle the score in '85. It was in Madison Square Garden. Piper got disqualified.
oh yeah, that led to WrestleMania 1.
Yeah, and
I
it's
remember now. I remember, yeah, it was. Yep, Piper was like the biggest bad guy, and he had. Yeah, I watched the. Okay, thank you.
Yep. So yeah, he's faced him before. So Michael Buffer's a goddamn liar.
All that for Michael Buffer.
Yep. So the match starts off with Hogan trying to get in Piper's head by slapping him a couple times. Then Hogan gets dumped out of the ring. They eventually fight to the outside after Hogan goes to the floor for the 4th or 5th time. Piper blatantly whips Hogan with a belt. The ref doesn't do dick, so I guess we're no DQ now. Referee only stops Roddy when he's attempting to murder Hogan by strangulation. And there was a part where Hogan's outside the ring and the referee's trying to keep Roddy back. So Roddy picks up the referee and puts him on the turnbuckle and pats him on the head. He's like, "Come on, Hogan." The ref didn't know what to do.
Oh yeah, telling them to stop the counting.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck do I do now? A man just lifted me up. I think you just have to leave at that point, right? You can't officiate.
Yeah.
So Hogan eventually targets Piper's hip scar. And then he misses a leg drop. Piper starts hopping on one leg again, then starts kicking Hogan's ass. Then out comes the Giant. Giant gets Piper up for a choke slam. And as Giant gets Piper up, a fan decides that he wants to get into the match, which is really stupid. You have the Giant, you have Hulk Hogan, and you have Roddy Piper in the ring. If I was a fan and I was going to attack the ring, it would be during fucking Rey Mysterio and the other smallest guys that they have. Like, seriously, what was the fan going to do? Save Roddy?
I don't know. He did get some shots. He got his licks, so there's that.
Yeah,
Hogan was kicking him in the head. You run in here, this is what you get.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, there's a. I love the commentary. They're like, there's a fan in the ring. And Dustin said, well, he didn't last long.
Yeah. Dusty had no sympathy. As they shouldn't. That was stupid. So
Yeah.
as this is going on, and you can see Piper's like, oh, hold on. So the Giant has to stand there for a long ass time with Piper up for a choke slam while Hogan and the ref tend to the drunkard. So after about 12 seconds, Hogan rushes back into position to get kicked by Piper, who again is still being held up for a choke slam. So for context, it takes about 3 to 5 seconds for a choke slam, depending on how much sizzle he wants to put on it. This was 12 seconds of Piper just being lifted up awkwardly. And you can see him just having a conversation with the Giant. So that fan just fucked everything.
Yeah.
So Piper kicks Hogan, fights out of the choke slam, and then he locks in the sleeper hold on Hogan, who passes out. And Piper's the man. Piper stands on Hogan with one foot while fireworks are set off. NWO is defeated. We have our new champion, and the NWO hit the ring. Piper fights them off, and then he bails. But that's okay, because he's got the belt. Then the Giant just stares at Piper while he walks past him, looking at the new champion. Then Giant pouts and makes his way to go to the back. Then Hogan, who just showed up, who they just showed passed the fuck out, like literally a second ago, is shown chasing the Giant, while the rest of the NWO wonder what the fuck's going on. Giant ends up shoving Hogan, and the Outsiders both get in Giant's face. Giant wants to know where the fuck everybody was during his match, completely disrespecting Master 6. And Hogan says Giant dropped the ball, but thank God they still have the belt. What? 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 How did they still have the belt? Why did they do a contract signing for a non-title match? They took up pay-per-view time for a non-title match.
Yeah, they did. I was actually caught off guard too, because I thought it was a title match up until it wasn't.
And it did strike me like they never showed the belt. So Hogan tells the Giant that they're going to talk later. But he dropped the ball. So then he heads back to the fucking ring. Then he tells Virgil to get his belt because they're the champions. They're the winners. What? 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 And Hogan starts saying something of, then the camera cuts away from him, and Hogan politely taps the camera guy and says, hey, cut back to me if you get a chance. So the camera guy cuts back to Hogan, who says, non-title, I killed you, Piper. I'm the champion. What? Then Hogan spits in the camera, probably making the camera guy wish he would have just told Hogan that they were out of time. And we leave Nashville with Hogan doing what he does best, posing.
Yep.
So this was an A+ pay-per-view with a ruined main event.
Well, I think it being a non-title match actually helped it, because I was thinking in this match, I'm like, they kept talking about how this was the one man Hogan's never beat, and how much of an icon in wrestling he is, that being Roddy Piper. And I was like, they did all this to bring this guy in so Hogan can get his victory, essentially bury Piper. It's like, oh, what do you need, Mr. Hogan? Let's bring Piper in so I can get my victory over him. So that's what I was thinking going into this. Like, that's what was going to happen, and then it didn't. But if the title was on line, it surely wasn't going to happen. So I guess I'm glad that it wasn't a title match, because that helped it there. But this was actually because they said it before. This was the second time the NWO lost, one being the Giant losing.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess he's on his way out. Maybe
He
not
is on his way
immediately,
out.
but
Well, for some reason, he thinks he's entitled to a title shot, even though he was on the same pay-per-view that they announced. Like, this isn't a surprise. The World War III event is when they did the contract signing for this match. So for Giant to pout all of a sudden because he thinks he's had been passed up by Piper is kind of silly. But they do
he did. He won that Battle Royal thing.
Right. So that would make him the number one contender. However, before that match even happened, Piper and Hogan, they signed their contract for their match.
Oh, well, yeah, he should be getting his time.
Yeah, he'll get a title shot. But they do a thing where Hogan presumed that the Giant was just going to protect him and not use his cash in. Giant, of course, wants a title shot. And it started off with, I want to prove myself against the best. Of course, Hogan didn't want to wrestle him.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. And after Starrcade, Giant was removed from the New World Order for failing to help Hogan win his match. Giant was also unhappy with how he was never given a match for Hogan's belt, despite, winning the Battle Royal, like we just said. I think they face each other at Sold Out. If I'm not mistaken. I know they definitely wrestle. Let me check here real quick. Yeah, they face at Sold Out. You're going to love Sold Out.
Can't wait.
This is the one I've been waiting for, personally. Because I can't wait to see your reaction.
Okay.
Piper continued his feud with Hogan after, and they face each other at Super Brawl 7 for the title, so they have a rematch. And I think we know probably who's going to win that one. And throughout 97, WCW seemed to revolve around Sting, whose character was changed to become an Avenger, frequently being observed from the rafters. Storyline was built towards a match between Hogan and Sting for the title at Starrcade. So next year, we're getting Sting versus Hogan.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, the next WCW pay-per-view, of course, is Sold Out. That's I think this is the first NWO pay-per-view. Main event is Giant and Hogan. And Yeah, this is notable for the NWO theme all throughout the pay-per-view, which they had for WCW people. I don't think they had theme music. They just had the NWO guy calling them losers. Loser. And it's entirely in black and white.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It'd be hard to get through then. I'm sure I'll be used to it after the initial culture shock.
100% in black and white. But before that, we have WrestleMania 14. And that is the one with Mike Tyson as the special enforcer for the main event, which is Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I believe this is, I don't know if it's his first title shot, but I do know it's his first title victory. So this is the coronation of the Rattlesnake. And that is that.
Something to look forward to. So that's going to be good. And thus does it for our wrestling rewind. And we'll get some quick little hits here that shouldn't take long for the news. First topic. So yeah, this it might not take long on these news segments, but we got to get them out there. So Bill Goldberg, he was on the Tim Green podcast. Who's Tim Green, you may be asking? Well, it's a guy who has, at the time of me looking, 125 subs, and he also has ALS. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, just pointing it out. He also pointed it out, so there's that.
It was kind of weird how he interviewed because he would just make the faces.
Well, a lot of points I saw, he wasn't even like, it was like I don't know if it was a still or or he just wasn't moving, but it looked like it was just like a photo of him. But then, yeah, he'd start talking. So maybe, yeah, I was confused. That was what was happening.
Yeah.
The real question is, like, I don't know. When you get ALS, I know your time kind of gets numbered. So why start such a venture of doing podcasts? I don't know.
Why would you stop living?
I don't know. A podcast, though, it's such hard work.
Is it?
Like, that's what you're going to go down the road of?
Is it hard work?
It is.
Okay.
Well, I guess the interview part is not hard.
Actually, I think that would be hard because you got to think of the questions and shit. And you would think, oh, well, anybody could think a question is asked, but then you got to think of good questions.
Yeah, and what the fans want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Or ask the questions to get the responses as such.
Yeah.
So yeah, the podcast is Nothing Left Unsaid. This is his second interview. So he lands Bill Goldberg on the second interview. And take that, Stephen Paul. So basically the clip that got everybody talking was he kept asking Goldberg if WWE was trying to like change the narrative of Goldberg. I guess what he was trying to ask was like, were they trying to bury Goldberg, or make, since you were like the WCW guy, that they try to make you less than. So Goldberg said, well, they had a
Hell
girl.
yeah, they did.
he said, yeah. So the first thing he said was they had a girl beat my record, and then now the other people that are covering it, I don't know if they watched the clip because they brushed over this if they did, but he's like, they had a girl beat my record, and then he like gives like a shrug to the camera, like that was that was gonna be all he said about it. Oh, some girl beat my record, and then he said, I don't know, it was some. He said, uh, it was some Japanese girl that beat my undefeated streak. And he said Asuka, I think was her name, and that's what got everybody riled up. And then he went on to say that also that happened right when I got there in 2003, 2004. And he said also kind of ironic how everybody started to do the spear once I got there, right?
Yeah.
And then um,
He didn't get
the
along with Triple
Tim,
H.
yeah, Mr. Green asked him, well, why do you think that happened? And he said, well, it's because I didn't get along with Vince's son-in-law, who is Triple H. Now, I guess this the colonel or whatever was of that was that they were in, he was in WCW, Triple H was in WWE, WWF at the time, and Goldberg said he had a friend who talked a friend, not even him, a friend who talked to Triple H, and apparently Triple H blamed Goldberg, or he accused Goldberg of hiding while WCW was failing. So there's that. I guess that's what it all started from.
Okay.
But again, it wasn't Triple H and Goldberg who said this. It was a friend of Goldberg who told him that Triple H said this. Now, why are you holding a grudge off of someone saying, "Oh yeah, he's staying home while his company's failing"? Like, why that's enough to hold a lifetime grudge? I don't know.
I don't know. Goldberg kind of seems insecure to me. He he's the type of guy that has to put in the side notes about how tough he is and how he wasn't scared, and he was talking about Bret Hart, and he's like, "Oh, well, I never idolize anybody, but I held him on that pedestal." Like, then so you fucking idolized him.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, he did address the Bret Hart
Yeah.
thing too. He said it was an accident. No matter what Bret says, it was an accident. Um, and he also, in that answer, mentioned that he was getting pushed to the moon. Like you had to slip that in there. Yeah, I was on my meteoric rise to the top of the company.
Well,
But
it's true. He was, honest to a degree, because he did say like he didn't have any range. He's like, once you beat me, or once I beat everybody else, what do you have for me? What's next?
yeah,
I don't have any range. So that's why it fizzled out, which is true. Because once they beat him,
yeah, there was nothing left. The thing was over. But the Asuka thing, of course, fans they got upset because one, he called her Asuka, and so the funniest things that were happening was like you had fans like, oh, Goldberg wishes he could be a third of good of wrestler as Asuka, or do a third of the moves he can do. You can't even do 25% of what she can do.
uh,
And
Goldberg will be bigger than Asuka will ever be with 2 moves.
well, yeah, and then you had the other side of the fans, um, and Asuka wishes she can get 25% of the reaction that Goldberg gets, and or the money, 25% of the money he made. So it
Well, I
became a
don't.
question of like, I don't know, is I don't know, the Asuka was the better wrestler, but Goldberg is the better draw. It's like, well, it's not about the wrestling; it's about the draw. if you're just going Inferno, that's what you think. Oh yeah, it's about the draw. And then other people were thinking it's about the wrestling. So, are you team Asuka or team Goldberg on that?
Well, I don't know if I'm on team. I don't know if I'm on anybody's team. I mean, I could understand, especially if Goldberg doesn't watch wrestling. I could see how he would call her Asuka. If you're just reading it, Goldberg's I think he's from Georgia. I don't know how many Japanese people he knows. So again, if you're just reading that name for the first time, or you're not used to seeing it, I can see why it would be Asuka.
Yeah.
No harm there. And to be fair, Asuka is just some Japanese girl. Because after she lost to Charlotte, what has she been?
Yeah, definitely lost the luster after losing to Charlotte.
I mean, she was awesome in NXT and when she had the undefeated streak, but then she was built up to lose to Charlotte, and then she's been kind of an afterthought after that. Even her first title reign was a secondary thought. That's because Becky can't keep her legs closed. So,
well, for what it's worth, she did make it 900 and some odd days as undefeated, 2.5 years. I couldn't find like the exact number of when she had in her streak.
mm-hmm.
I remember it being over 200 though.
Yep.
Where Goldberg's streak was 173-0.
But the Asuka today, would you, if just coming, or if I just showed you of like the past year of SmackDown and you had no prior knowledge, and I told you that that lady was at 1 point 200-0, would you believe me?
No, she's not treated like someone who was 200-0.
Yeah.
Like it should be a rare thing or overbooked or something if she loses.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like, just taking L's all the time.
And that's, yeah. And all it was to make Charlotte look good. And they didn't give a fuck what happened after that. Clearly. So no, I don't think Goldberg's wrong. I think it without a doubt, Asuka is the better wrestler. But also without a doubt, Bill Goldberg was the better draw. Asuka could have been the better draw if they fucking continued her momentum after losing to Charlotte, but they didn't.
Yeah. Should have definitely helped her out a little bit more.
But I just don't think Goldberg pays attention. So I could see, some Japanese girl, Asuka. What's he supposed to say? Oh, the greatest female Japanese wrestler in the world from Tokyo, Japan. She was born in 19, blah, 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 blah. Like, is he supposed to know every single detail about her?
I mean, she beat the record, maybe at least know her name.
But if he doesn't watch, Bill Goldberg does not strike me as a guy to sit down on every Monday night to watch Raw.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't watch. He probably, but him just saying, well, before he even said that, just like some girl.
Yeah,
it's like he was discrediting it there already. So,
did he say some girl?
Well, I'm sorry, he said a girl.
Oh,
a girl beat my record, and then he shrugs into the camera.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't disagree with him, but I guess I could see. I mean, I don't see, but it makes sense that would be the. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But I'm surprised there was no, toxic masculinity and stuff.
I'm sure it's there.
Not yet, because people didn't watch it. Or maybe they did. I don't know. But a lot of people just read the headline. But yeah, that's the news on Goldberg.
Yeah, I
He
didn't. I saw the headline. I didn't really read the story. I tried watching the podcast. I can't listen to Bill Goldberg, and I don't know. I felt weird watching the ALS guy. It's a horrible disease.
Well, luckily, someone time stamped to the. The funny thing is, I clicked on it, and again, 125 subscribers at the time. This video had already had like 3,000 views.
Mhm.
First comment, I can't believe, or the first comment was like over 3,000 views and 1,000 comments, but no one has sense enough to timestamp to the important part. And then, yeah, a little bit later, someone timestamped here, go here. It's like, thank
Lazy
you.
fuck.
I mean, this is one.
You have a fast forward button.
Yeah, but it's hard to find.
There's a.
And he gets credit for it if you skip through it. You want to give him, Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that.
I don't either.
But I think that's it for the show.
Okay.
Let me check my notes here. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
So if you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on the socials, and all the other things associated with social media. Is there anything else?
Just have a good night.
And until next time, Top Guys out.